military to disobey illegal orders should be arrested and tried. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
He is throwing a match into a country filled with political extreme gasoline. It is dangerous. It is devastating. I don't know any president who has gone this low.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
They were leading into their credentials as former members of our military, as veterans, as former members of the national security apparatus to signal to people serving under this commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, that you can defy him.
A federal judge today ruled the administration's deployment of National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. was illegal. In Charlotte, North Carolina, officials announced the end of the federal immigration crackdown there. The Trump administration's announced new oil drilling off California and Florida. Linda Kenyon reports.
The plan to expand oil drilling comes as the U.S. is already leading the world in oil production. On social media, California Governor Gavin Newsom called the idea dead on arrival, while the state's attorney general said, quote, California is not your playground. The U.S. government has not allowed drilling in federal waters off the Florida Gulf Coast since 1995 due to concerns about oil spills. President Trump, who has blocked renewable energy sources, including windmills and other energy projects, has touted drill baby drill to enhance energy independence and drive down oil prices.
There's more dangerous weather in parts of Texas. Meteorologist Nikki Nolan.
It's a level 3 out of 4 flood risk through the night tonight. It is going to go up into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They've actually already seen over 5 inches just in the past 24 hours of rainfall.
Stacey Lynn reports on a preliminary report into the crash of the UPS plane in Louisville.
Images show a mount that keeps the engine attached to the plane separated from the wing just moments after takeoff, igniting a fireball. The report reveals that there were some cracks on the mount, and investigators found the pylon also had areas of overstress failure. It still doesn't reveal the exact cause of the crash, which could take as long as a year to determine.
At the National Cathedral, a funeral for former Vice President Dick Cheney, former President George W. Bush.
Even before the Cheney name reached the national stage, people always saw something in the man, solid, reliable, and rare.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished lower. The Dow Jones Industrials off 386 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, we have details on 2 big drug busts in Western Washington. But first, Nate Connors is at the real-time traffic desk.
And this report brought to you by D.R. Horton. No big surprises out there. Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett are both starting to fill in, taking you 40 to 45 minutes. Everett to Seattle is a 45-minute commute, a half hour from Linwood. And South 5 is heavy, starting near 85th down through into downtown. South 405 is thick from Northeast 8th to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton has gone up a bit to 35 minutes. It's also a 35-minute commute from Seattle to Federal Way. Both directions of 167 are now pretty thick between Algona and Sumner. Don't forget, we're down to a single lane now, northbound 167 through that Pacific Bridge work zone for the next couple months. Move-in ready homes from D.R. Horton, America's builder across Puget Sound and Central Washington. Find yours at drhorton.com, an equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello. Federal agents and local police just busted 2 separate drug rings with ties to Ecuador and Mexico. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Following 2 long-term multi-agency undercover operations, federal and local officials arrested 18 people. More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized, along with cocaine, meth, heroin, guns, explosive devices, and $360,000 in cash. DEA Special Agent in Charge, David Reams.
The fentanyl alone seized in this case could have killed a staggering 3.3 million people.
Of those arrested, 5 were siblings. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A Tacoma man faces a potential murder charge in the death of a 2-year-old boy. First responders say they were called to the man's home a week ago because that child was not breathing. Police arrested the man for assault after they say he gave them a story that did not add up. We do not yet know his relationship to that child. Some Snohomish County Democrats are now calling for the statewide removal of flock safety license plate reader cameras.
Washington's 44th Legislative District Democrats passed a resolution calling on cities in Snohomish County to ditch their license plate cameras, citing privacy and sanctuary law concerns. Ultimately, they want them out of the state altogether. But Stanwood Police Chief Jason Toner says this technology helped them catch a repeat offender within a week. He says the data is deleted after 30 days unless it's part of an investigation.
Is it too much Big Brother? That's not what we want.
Redmond recently paused its system after learning Border Patrol improperly accessed Auburn's cameras. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The Highway 99 tunnel is back open after a power outage shut it down during the morning rush. Seattle City Light says the outage was caused by a downed power line. And WashDOT's RB McKeon tells KIRO 7 TV the tunnel's backup power system then failed.
Normally, we would have the ability to draw from the other side. So we lost power on the south end. We would be able to draw on the north end. But something called switchgear that allows us to do that failed this morning.
Outage knocked out the tunnel's ventilation system for about 3 hours. It fully reopened around 11 this morning. Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Dry right now, mix of clouds and sunshine for tomorrow. And Saturday, mainly dry with some showers to the north. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Do you want a chocolate? I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
1.5 million.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
That's what Mama said.
You never know what you're going to get.
We used to punch the bottom of them to see what's underneath and then put them back in, yeah. My dad, no, stop punching out the bottoms. Who's punching out the bottoms? Big Whitman sampler. Or we used to, there's a Whitman sampler, you lift the box and then you'd be like, okay, that one is, that's a horrible, no good, right? You'd like move them around. And then we used to move them around. Fun with chocolate. Stab it in the day! John Curley Show! Here we go. 1-888-973-5476. Texting's good and good for you. All right, I have in my hand, Joe says this is all the news. In the last 24 hours, only two pages? 3 pages?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We got to work hard like there's a staple. All right. Hey, take up vaping. I'll tell you why. Save you a lot of money when it comes to heating your house. Plus, does NBC have film that would prove that Oswald was not the shooter? They have been asked to get the original, and they're like, we don't know where it is. Could that be what is needed in order to prove that Oswald did not act alone? First Kennedy assassination, the history of that is coming up. Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
yes. I'll tell you also, Thanksgiving cheaper this year, yes, across the United States, but for some reason, I can't figure out why. It's more expensive in the state of Washington. I wonder why. That's weird. It must be that Ukraine war going on. Plus, also say goodbye to gravy and say hello to Ozempic. So if you see people sitting down at the Thanksgiving Day table and injecting themselves in their sides, they'll have that before they have anything else. Just like a piece of pumpkin pie, that's all right. Just shoots up right in the side there. Plus, also, there's a guy in Auburn who apparently the Chamber of Commerce just loves. They should give him an award. They just think he is just a super duper guy. He's a super duper guy. Charlie Harker got the chance to dig into this story about this guy. They should name a building or a street after him.
Okay.
But first, it should be they put his name up, then they should put his real name up when they go to name the street after him, and then include in there, raped a 15-year-old. Plus, Rye Roller, my son's house by, to talk about Seahawks visiting Nashville. The Titans are 1-9. Oh, okay, there we go. That's going to be good. And then also, let's see. Oh, flock cameras. Don't get rid of flock cameras. We'll tell you what's happening behind the scenes. If you are a lawyer and you're unscrupulous, you might want to just sue the city, get yourself $75,000 or something like that. That has to do with flock cameras. And then for some reason also, more and more parents are pulling their kids out of public school and private school and out of charter schools. Where are they going? Anything else in there, Joe? That's it? Okay. We taped this earlier. Well, you guys were doing other stuff. We were working as well. And I was thinking. All right, so as the price of having to heat your house increases every single year in the state of Washington, Chris Dole has some advice. Although Chris would probably not say do this directly, but you could. Get your kid, this is my part of it, get your kid addicted to vape and have him vape a tremendous amount. Maybe have his friends vape as well. Get enough of these vapes, and then at that point, you need to follow everything that Chris tells you to do. Chris, how could I power my entire house with vapes?
It sounds ridiculous,
yes,
but yeah, you absolutely can. So right behind me, right here, this is a power bank made completely from disposable vape batteries, a full power wall. So I've actually used this to power this entire workshop and my whole house completely off the grid. So right now, as we're talking, this workshop completely disconnected from the grid, not paying a single penny for the electricity. And yeah, it's powering the Wi-Fi, this laptop, all the lights, all off of disposable vape batteries.
You, we'll get into how you kind of discovered all this sort of stuff. But I want to take you back to when you were a kid. What was the first thing you ever took apart?
Oh, man. I don't know. I was taking it apart earlier than I can remember, to be honest. Yeah. All of my toys as a kid, it would always end up stripped to absolute bits. I wouldn't be able to always put it back together again, but honestly, yeah, I don't know. Electronics have always been my thing. I've always wanted to, since I was super young, I wanted to be an inventor.
Yeah.
And I suppose I've kind of achieved that now. I've made some pretty cool stuff.
I think you have. You really have. Because what you noticed, I guess you saw these things disposed of. People would just sort of throw them on the ground after concerts and stuff like that. And in each one of these is a battery. And then you went to extraordinary means in order to pull all the batteries out, then test the batteries. I couldn't figure out from the total amount of time you put into it as an inventor as to how to make sure all the batteries were equally charged, and then to have each one of them then be, set up to give off a certain amount of voltage in order to run the whole house. How many hours do you think you put into this experiment in order to turn vapes into power?
Too long, way too long. Probably, I think I added it up the other day, probably about 700 plus hours making this thing. And that is a serious amount of time. It was about the last 7 months, every evening been working on this thing. But I think it paid off in the end.
Whatever you consider the payoff to be, I was watching the video of you doing it. I thought to myself, he's there alone in his little workshop, and he's sawing this stuff, and he's breaking them apart and putting them in there and then testing them. And I thought to myself, at a certain point, was Chris thinking like, okay, this is nuts. Like, I'm just going to give up.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I'm not going to lie. Since I even found out that there's rechargeable cells in here, I have totally thought I was nuts. At first, I thought I was nuts because everyone was just throwing these things away. So, like, they're marketed as, like, completely disposable. But, like, the engineer in me is like, what? These aren't disposable. It's got electronics in it. I can literally see the lights blinking. There's got to be a power source. It's not disposable. So yeah, like I was trying to tell all my mates, hey, I've cracked it open. The battery's fully rechargeable. Why are we throwing them away after one time? I literally looked like a conspiracy theorist. I genuinely thought I was crazy. So then that's kind of what made me think, I tell you what, I'm going to spread some awareness. I'm going to collect together like tons and tons of these and start building crazy stuff. So yeah, first started out by building a power bank. So you collect together 35 of them, install them in here, and you've got a fully working power bank. Then I built an e-bike battery. This one here, inside of here, this is 100 vape cells for an e-bike battery. And then, yeah, this is my last video that I've made on YouTube of me, building this entire massive power and, powering the whole house. And, to be honest, like, that is 700 hours of reflecting, like, what on earth am I doing with my life?
But, all right, so were you motivated by, like, because you have a screw loose, which you could probably tighten with a Phillips head? Is it where you're like, okay, I'm doing this because I just want to see how it ends? Or is it you sort of morally like society needs to change and there needs to be more awareness? Like, what was the main thing?
I think it started with the second one. So like when I made the power bank, I was thinking like, this is a bit crazy. Like no one knows about this. And obviously like the marketing is like straight up deceptive to tell you, yeah, just chuck these in a bin, buy another one, forget about it. So yeah, I thought that I'm gonna try and expose this a bit. I didn't know if anyone would be interested, so I just made a little video, more kind of for myself, put it out there, and the video blew up. It's on like 2.5 million views now. So I was there like, oh Jesus, right? People are really, really interested in this stuff. So then I was just there like, right, okay, people are interested. It's raising awareness. I'm just gonna make bigger and more ridiculous things.
Right. So then I guess once people get the awareness, then what you want is them to take some sort of action after all the action that you took, which is, I don't know, somebody write a law or, you can't dispose of them or these things. Because environmentally, if you're throwing this stuff in the ground, every one of those batteries, it'll take a while to decompose and all the stuff around it.
Yeah.
But there's some serious chemicals in here, right, that eventually get somewhere into the water or wherever else it's going to go. So I guess at the end, you'd say to yourself, well, I put all this time into it. And then because I put all this time into it, and yes, people watch it because it's kind of quirky and sort of weird. But then after that, laws were written, manufacturers had to change, and it all goes back to, what Chris Dole did in his garage.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of how I like to think that it's played out, especially as recently there was actually a ban on disposable vapes here in the UK. And I think, to be honest, it did seem to really raise a lot of awareness. There was a lot of like news stories on the video itself. And like we had like a news company come round and video the things that I've been doing. So hopefully, yeah, I had a play in that.
Yeah.
And I already know that over 1,000 people ended up downloading all the files to build this power bank. So it's like 3D printed and you can order all the bits for it. So that means we've saved 35,000 vape batteries from going in the landfill already.
Yeah.
And hopefully a bunch more people have converted to rechargeable ones where we're not throwing away, all these crazy toxic things or, like all the components in it. They're not going to break down for, decades or centuries. It's crazy.
So in a way, you save the environment and possibly, I don't know, save somebody's life or something, but you would put people's lives in danger if they wanted to build a scooter that goes more than 50 miles an hour, which I watched that video. I gotta tell you something. I mean, the fact that you took that crappy old scooter and you're ripping down some, by the way,
man.
could you find a worse road to be on?
Yeah, a little tiny dirt road, bumps all on it. That was terrifying, honestly. When you're in like a low down car and you're going 70 and it feels like you're going 100.
Right.
Well, 50 miles an hour on a mobility scooter feels like 300 miles an hour. That thing was so rickety.
I don't know how the whole structure stayed intact, that the wheels didn't fly off the thing.
It doesn't make sense. It was only made for 4 miles an hour, and I didn't like upgrade the chassis. I just put a massive stinking motor on it and just blasted it. Yeah, not gonna lie, I genuinely thought there was a really big chance I was gonna come away with some serious injuries, but people like the video.
Yeah, they did. By the way, so when I clicked on something about you, I put it up, and then it gives you another video to watch later on. Then there was another guy who, I guess, either inspired by you or I don't know, whatever else, didn't get enough oxygen at birth. So his thing was he has a camera that looks so the camera's looking at a countdown clock. And if he can't do a Rubik's Cube fast enough, then he gets punched in the face by a punching, like a glove right here at the side, just punching him in the head the whole time. So you've inspired other people to come up with other crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. I tell you could probably combine the ideas. So if you don't vape fast enough, you're in the head, and then at least at the end, you'll probably get a free power wall out of it.
What's the next thing you're working on? I hate to ask.
No, honestly, it's a perfect time to ask because literally this weekend I've bought a really tiny electric vehicle and I'm actually going to try and drive a car using the power of disposable vapes now. So that's the next thing I'm working on.
So I guess the good thing that would come with this, people would go, okay, I vaped and vape. I'm not going to, so I could take the battery out. Like if you design something, they take the battery out, and if they have a second use for it that then gives them some benefit, they would not just throw it away, right?
That's exactly it. Yeah. Because like I realized when I was making my videos, there's two angles to this. So there's like hopefully the regulation side of things, and we're going to raise enough noise to actually get them to do something about these ridiculous things. But we're not really doing anything in the moment. So it's, I guess, spreading the message of, hey, you should really figure out a way to recycle these things. And if you can't, and if you've got some savviness, then yeah, that's why I like released this kit that I've got here disassembled, where you do just slot in 35 of the vape batteries, put it together, and then you can charge your phone and your laptop with this. And this is going to last for years.
Yeah, you're right. So like you go to the grocery store, you get a plastic bag, you use the plastic bag to bring your stuff home, but then you use the plastic bag for another thing, then you would be more likely to keep the bag. So the same thing would happen with this. Exactly. Okay, I vape, take the thing out, stick it in the device, stick it in the box that you're showing there, and they're like, okay, now I'm powering I have something to power a cell phone or laptop or whatever else. So because it has a second use, people put value behind it and they don't see it as garbage.
Yes, that is exactly it. And I think that's what's so crazy about this whole thing is that like there are genuinely crazy valuable things inside of here. You know, we're going to end up with a lithium and cobalt shortage because of like all the batteries that we need for our electric vehicles and stuff. And yet we're making devices with lithium and cobalt, and we're saying they have no value, chuck them away into the bin. And to me, that is just absolute madness.
So I'm going to end it with this. You ready? I did some math. So the number of these vapes sold a year is 120 billion, and at 3 volts a piece, that is, so then we're going 3 times 7. So that is enough electrical power to explode more than, I think, 1 million atomic bombs.
I think that genuinely sounds about right. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like I know. I've seen the studies in the UK. We're throwing 1 million away a day, and yet only 500 powers my house. So like, it really does show how much energy there is in all these things.
Who's your favorite inventor of all times? If you could eventually have your name on that list somewhere, who would be your top 3?
Oh, I don't know if I could do a top 3. I think Nikola Tesla, he was a really cool guy. I think he was awesome. I'd just put him number 1. No. He was a genius. There was something different going on in his brain.
Yeah. Is something different going on in yours as well?
Yeah. I guess there's something good going on, but there's also a bit of, weirdness, a bit of self-destructiveness with the 50-mile-an-hour mobility scooter. But I guess it's fun for people to watch at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. Of your mates, your friends, are you the most annoying?
Am I the most annoying? Possibly. Yeah, especially how much I judge them for chuffing on these things. I'm sure they're probably absolutely sick to death of me about that.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Chris Dole, thanks a lot. Hopefully you've changed the world. If not, you've powered somebody's cell phone and made all of us more aware of what's really inside this stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Bye, Chris.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks. Man, there I am. You got a facelift. Oh, you got crappy on there, huh?
What are you doing on January 6th?
Getting your old facelifted up. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming on. That's some wild stuff.
Yeah, he's smart, dude.
What's the name of his? Tell people how to watch him, see the thing.
Chris Dole, Doel, Chris Dole at YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
It's at Chris Dole.
Yeah, and then watch him ride that scooter 50 miles an hour. That thing did. Wow.
Did he have a helmet on, I hope?
He did have a helmet, but he had no gloves on. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing, going so fast. I'm going to die. Yeah. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett are both up to 50-minute commutes. Everett to Seattle still holding steady at 45 minutes. 35 from Linwood, and it's packed at Lake City Way to I-90. North 5, we're starting to get heavy approaching the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Very typical here. Both lake bridges continue to look great. You're wide open. Southbound 405 is thick at 520 to Cold Creek Parkway now. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way has gone up to 45 minutes. We're slow from MLK Junior Way down to State Route 5. 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is going to take you 45 minutes. We're real thick this afternoon in the south end between Algona and Sumner in both directions. Federway to Tacoma pushing 20 minutes. Stop and go from South 320th into the Fife Curve. And a heads up, low tide will cancel tonight 6:45 and 8:30 sailings out of Port Townsend and the 7:30 and 9:10 sailings out of Coupeville. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Have you noticed there's more and more houses going on the market? You drive down the road and you see a sign out front, home for sale. That wasn't the case a couple of months ago, but after the Fed, well, they dropped the mortgage rates or interest rates, you're seeing more homes. So that means if you were thinking about it for a while, maybe a couple of years, like, well, let's wait for the right time. It's now. It is now. You're going to see homes on the market. That means there's going to be increased competition for you. So if you want to get the cutting edge, you get ahead of everybody else and make sure your house gets seen and shown and sold for top dollar, you've got to go with Mike Novak. Here's why. Novak puts his money where his mouth is. He says, I'll tell you what, I'll sell your house in 21 days. If not, you don't have to pay me anything. And he's going to be out a lot of money because he spends about 70 times more than the average agent when it comes to marketing that house of yours to get it seen and shown and sold. Mike Novak is not going to put his money up unless he knows he's going to get your house sold. You want to work with the Novak team, and how to do that? Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks.com. And Novak is spelled Novak. That's meetthenovaks.com.
After hitting a flat note in L.A.,
Sam looking, dumps a pass, it's intercepted. That's number 4.
the Seahawks head down yonder to Nashville, looking to get that twang back.
As a team, I think we're in good shape. One loss doesn't define us.
Rocking and rolling their way to another win.
You know, it's about us, how we can get better as a team.
When we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7. Giddy up.
Where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com, K2VisionRLE.com.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Husky Nation, the rivalry is on, but this time it's bigger than football. This holiday season, we're taking a fight from the field to the table with Rivalry for a Reason, a competition fundraiser between UW and Oregon fans to tackle food insecurity across the Northwest. Every dollar you donate counts as a vote, and votes are unlimited. So let's outgive the Ducks and show our Husky pride. 100% goes to households in need, thanks to Safeway and Northwest Harvest. Visit dogsvsducks.org today.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a good-to-go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A good-to-go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Governor Bob Ferguson has declared a state of emergency after a leak forced the shutdown of the Olympic pipeline. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the updates.
That leaky pipeline somewhere between Everett and Snohomish was shut down 9 days ago, tested, and restarted Sunday morning, then shut down again Monday after the leak continued. Now, as crews with BP dig it up to fix it, the main jet fuel supply to SeaTac is being brought in by trucks. Governor Ferguson's emergency order lifts truck driver hour limits so that fuel can continue to flow days and nights. The Port of Seattle says flights are unaffected so far. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Getting a late look at the September jobs reports. It was delayed due to the government shutdown. Labor Department says 119,000 jobs were added. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says that's better than expected.
119,000 jobs added. That was significantly more than expected. We were looking at 50,000. It's also a huge turnaround from August where we lost jobs. That is good.
Unemployment rate did tick up to 4.4%. Seattle's 2026 budget is now set at $9 billion. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports the City Council's Budget Committee approved it today.
New taxes helped close a $102 million shortfall, but outgoing City Council President Sarah Nelson says there's another $140 million gap looming in 2027.
So a sizable budget challenge remains, and it could turn much worse if the economy deteriorates.
The 2026 budget includes record investments in affordable housing and rental assistance. Also boosts funding for firefighters and police. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The bird flu is back in Washington. State Agriculture Department confirms new cases in Snohomish, Whatcom, and Grays Harbor counties as wild bird migration peaks. Backyard flocks are facing the highest risk, they say. Owners are now urged to keep birds covered away from ponds and to limit visitors in order to prevent the spread. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. It's Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett are right around 50 minutes apiece. I-5, you're slow from the U District to Linwood. 405 slows from Kirkland into Bothell. Everett to Seattle still at 45 minutes, and it's 35 from Linwood. Starting to slowly fill in there in Linwood, but you're packed at Lake City Way to I-90. North 5, we're getting heavy at the West Seattle Bridge through downtown. Southbound 405 is packed at 520 down to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes already. We've got building volumes from MLK Junior Way down to 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is 45 minutes. Both directions of the Valley Freeway are heavy between Algona and Sumner. Of course, northbound 167, we're down to one lane at the Pacific Bridge work zone now. Both directions of I-5 are heavy from the Fife curve to State Route 18, Tacoma to Federal Way 20 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia is at 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Looking at an increase of clouds right now, but staying dry tonight. Some showers to the north tomorrow and again on Saturday. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Ooh, wow.
You knew I'm trying.
That was right on.
Thank you. Well, what do you know? I'm a professional. Look it up in the book. All right, it's the John Curley Show. Thanks, everybody, for being along for the ride on all of this. Still stories to come. This one is people clicking on this Charlie Harker story, this thing about Auburn. This is crazy.
That's
crazy story. So it was 2015. We'll get to it in a second, but a little later on the show. 2015, this guy rapes a 15-year-old girl. He's an adult, rapes a girl, pleads not guilty, sentenced to jail, does some time in jail, comes back out, changes his name, which is not, you're not supposed to do that because you're supposed to register as a sex offender. And then he becomes like this darling of Auburn. And now, as Charlie digs into all this sort of stuff, it's pretty wild and infuriating that a convicted sex offender, a rapist of a child, is held in the regard that he is in Auburn. Come on, Auburn. What's going on out there? This day in history. Let's see. John goes off on a Charlie Harker story. I just did that. Okay, wow. That's there. We did that on
quick.
Wow, it's hard. They've already notated it.
Nice.
1820, American's vessel is sunk by a sperm whale.
Oh
gosh.
Dang. Whales.
1923, Garrett Morgan patents a 3-position traffic signal. Okay, why is that even in there?
What do you mean?
JFK is born in 1925.
RFK.
The Nuremberg trials begin in 1945. I was reading about how they were hanging those guys, and apparently the guy that was in charge of it was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. It doesn't break their necks. Let them suffer." What with stuff I read?
Yeah, you like the really dark.
Well, you click on something, and next thing you know, you're down in some gross rabbit hole. 1982, Cal beats Stanford as bands block the field. Remember that? We should have done that one. That was a good one. Joe, you suck.
You remember that?
November 2025, Joe sucks. Yeah, I remember that. Do you remember that? Brady, do you remember that one?
I remember because I'm pretty sure Dave Wyman was a part of it.
Really?
Oh, my God. No. Now, we'll dig into this one. So, tomorrow is the anniversary of the assassination of JFK. We had Jeff Morley on. He is the expert. This guy's been studying this stuff for years and years and years. And Morley is being interviewed, of course, and it was during a congressional hearing. He was also being sort of testifying to the new information that's been brought forward regarding JFK's assassination. 80,000 documents or something like that. They're still holding a few back. Now people are saying, hey, is it possible that the video that was taken, not the video, but it was film taken by NBC, they were right there behind the limousine, did the camera spin around and see Oswald? There's no way Oswald could have gotten down onto the ground from the 6th floor of the book depository. Who has it? Where is it? Here's a little something of Morley.
There's a piece of footage that was taken by an NBC cameraman who was riding in the motorcade behind the president's car. So he's filming the crowd and the scene. And then when the shooting takes place and the president's car takes off to the hospital because the president and Governor Connolly have been wounded, the press car follows and he's filming. And so they go around the corner in Dealey Plaza and they go by the Texas School Book Depository. And you can see this footage on YouTube. It's part of the NBC coverage that day, and it was taken by a photographer named Wegman. So he's filming a movie camera in the motorcade, and they broadcast the film later that day. So when you look at the film that appears on NBC, and I assisted Representative Luna's staff in examining some material sent from NBC, it's just too blurry. You can't tell who that is. Now, there's people who make the case that Oswald is there in the shadows of the 1st floor of the Texas School Book Depository when the motorcade went past. So obviously he couldn't have been on the 6th floor firing a gun if that's Oswald in the shadows. Mm-hmm. So to resolve the question, Oliver Stone, a movie maker and an expert in celluloid, said, let's get the original celluloid from Wegman's camera.
Yes, let's get it.
Not the copy that was broadcast.
Not the copy.
On November 22nd.
I'm just involving myself because it's just people.
But the original celluloid. That's what Luna asked the NBC for.
Yeah.
NBC came back and said, we can't find it.
Oh.
We only have the footage that aired, which is just too blurry to make a determination.
Aha! The plot thickens.
Aha.
I think most people realize they're never going to get the truth, but the connections between the CIA and Oswald, like for instance, the CIA said, I don't know who Oswald was. We have no information. We've been following him. That turned out to be malarkey. The CIA, here's what happened. The CIA did not like that Kennedy was not all in on stopping communism in Cuba. They also didn't like that he was not really all in on what was going to be happening in Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia. The CIA, wanted we got to stop communism and have democracy all over the place. So they have all sorts of plans. And if the president of the United States is not down on their plans, well, let's move on to somebody else like Johnson. So the connections between the CIA and the assassination, the whole story still hasn't come out. Because the problem, as Morley points out, it's not like it's in a big box somewhere where like all information about JFK, black magic marker. And then, here it is under C for CIA. No, he says it's all over the place. And he said whenever they do any of these programs, the CIA, they always give plausible deniability. Well, we didn't know. We don't know. Whenever they set up a plan, they have to have a second part. The first part of the plan is, how do we cover our asses on this so they don't catch us? That's the plausible deniability part. So when they build the plan, they got two pieces going simultaneously. How do we show that we weren't involved? And then how do we go ahead and do something terrible to some other country or some other person?
And they compartmentalize everything.
So it's all, you can't go to one spot and find it. The anniversary of the assassination of JFK. How could Oswald get off the first shot? 6 seconds on the third shot. First shot, 6 seconds passes. Then the third shot, the kill shot apparently. And the first shot is the magic bullet that they found, went through all sorts of stuff, and then, it's perfectly fine condition.
So with the footage that Morley was talking about, does somebody think they recognize him in the background? But
Yeah. They said that it's kind of fuzzy, but they said, is that Oswald there on the ground next to the book depository? And that's when they said, let's see it. And that's what whatchamacallit has been asked to find.
Yeah, and NBC says, I
don't know where it is.
Somebody took it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, there we go. And on a happier note, this was also the day that Cal beat Stanford as the band blocks the field. Missed by Joe.
Dave was in that?
Too late. We're moving on. And other stuff to talk about. All right. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, John. Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett are both 50-minute drives. Again, I-5, you're slow from the U District to Linwood. 405 slows from Kirkland into Canyon Park now. Everett to Marysville, 10 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 40-minute drive. And you're packed at 85th down to I-90. South 405, really heavy at 520 down to Cold Creek Parkway. And then you're going to thin out pretty quickly from there. Bellevue to Renton's at a half hour. North 405, we're crowded in the south end from South Center to the Renton Landing. South Center to Bellevue is still less than 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. We're slow at MLK Junior Way to 516. Down in Pacific, northbound 167. Just a reminder, we've got a 2-mile backup heading towards that Pacific Bridge work zone where you're down to a single lane for the next couple months. Plan on about 20 minutes to clear this. Because of this backup, drivers are sticking to I-5, and North 5 is heavy from the Fife Curve up to State Route 18. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. I got to tell you something. I am now such a huge fan. I'll talk to anybody about stem cell procedures. I'm not an expert, but I am now a very, very happy patient of Dr. Mark Wagner from Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. This is the best. Because when I went in and Dr. Wagner had already looked at my MRI and my X-ray, and he was, we can do this for you. This is going to be good. Dr. Wagner's done more than 20,000 of these things. And it's pretty amazing. I said, so how many stem cells are you going to get? He said, at your age, about 600 billion. They pull out these stem cells. They mix it in with a little bit of fat. They spin it around the centrifuge and shoot it right into my hip. And immediately, within like 2 days, I start to feel sort of the anti-inflammatory aspects of it. And then it just continues to get better and better and better. I said to Dr. Wagner yesterday when I saw him, hey, when can I start running? He said, start jogging, tomorrow, just about 15 minutes on the treadmill. Just start jogging, and then you'll be running again. Right now, if you're thinking about surgery, bad hip, wrist, knee, elbow, hip, whatever it is, don't do that yet. Don't do that. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
A new push to abolish the education department.
Senator Patty Murray chats with local educators and parents. We'll have a preview.
Last weekend before Thanksgiving, Paul Holden has your weekend planner.
Another team to root for. The Seattle Torrent take the ice for the first time.
Hope you can join us tomorrow for all the day's news, traffic, and weather.
5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership and has the state's largest selection. Get the 2025 Crosstrek at 1.9% financing for 72 months. And during the Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru purchase to one of 6 charities, including hometown favorite Paws. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
From the K4 to the Telluride to the EV9, be ready this winter. With amazing pricing and financing, now is the time to buy at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Time is running out to save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. Now through the end of the month, save big on home comfort systems, generators, water heaters, and more. Plus, take advantage of 12-month interest-free financing and get your home winter ready before the chilly season starts. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest to be your dedicated home comfort company. Call Bob's today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Here we go with the classic, what's Thanksgiving dinner going to cost? As everybody gets ready for Thanksgiving. It's cheaper this year. This is the other part about it. Oh, look at the price of everything has come down. Remember that Trump said, I'm going to bring the price down of groceries. Okay, I don't do that. Does the government bring prices down? The government continues to create regulations that create costs, and then also you manipulate the market when you print money, and that creates inflation. We learned all about that during the Biden administration. So American Farm and Bureau Federation is out with the annual Thanksgiving survey showing the cost of the classic Thanksgiving dinner is down for a third year in a row. Here's part of the problem. The grocery stores get the turkeys and give them to it sort of as a lost lead. They know they don't make that much, or maybe they don't make anything on it, but then you're not going to just buy a turkey. That's where you could beat them.
Ooh.
You beat them at their own game. Just get the turkey and nothing else.
Or several turkeys.
Buy 10 of them. Just serve turkey. Just nothing but turkey. Have no sides. And then you're beating him at the game. So the lower tag is the 16-ounce or 16-pound frozen turkey is $21.50 or $1.34 a pound, down from 16% in 2024. Again, because they move these numbers around, but every year since 1986, people have been looking at these numbers. Is it cheaper now than it was? But amazing, for some strange reason, the state of Washington price is much higher than everybody else around the United States.
What?
Can't figure that out. Don't know why. Let's see. Oh, that's right. We're saving the world by paying an extra, 54 cents per gallon for gas. Really doing a great job bringing that whole climate change thing down. It's all going to start right here in Washington. Plus, labor, regulations, permitting, all the other garbage that goes into it, all that, it drives the cost of everything up in the state of Washington. We were one of the least affordable states now, thanks to this idea that the government is going to make things cheaper by actually taxing everything, redistributing the wealth, and then making everything actually end up being more expensive. What are you going to do?
Glad we learned that lesson.
What are you going to do? We have a bunch of turkeys that run around out in front of the barn. I was like, man, do I shoot one of those things? But they don't look real big.
No, my mom has those too. There's like flocks of 20 of them.
Yeah.
They're very.
And then what do you do?
They look like they're on Ozempic.
I know, they're very not what you get at the store. No. I am in charge of making the Thanksgiving dinner this year, so that's kind of good news for everybody.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing the old turkey. First time I ever did it was 1990, and I was so focused on the bird, basting it. I had my New York Times cookbook there. I was basting it. I had the apple vinegar, and I was all the butter and everything else. I was pulling the thing in quickly, basting it. I was so focused on it that I forgot to make anything else. That's all I had was just the turkey.
See?
And I pull it out. It smells great. They put the washcloth over it like my aunt used to do or something. I remember just following through whatever I remember as a kid. And then Paula, wife number one, says, where's the rest of the stuff? It's like, oh, darn, I forgot. I was so focused on the bird. And then I sliced it off and I said, but look how moist it is. And I put it on these cheap plates that we were pretty poor. That I bought at Goodwill. So it was white plates on this crappy apartment on this awful white table I found next to the dumpster from IKEA. So I had the white plate on the white table in the crappy apartment, and there was 2 pieces of turkey. Oh, so depressing. And we just went to Denny's.
That sounds actually kind of nice. Memorable.
Excuse me? Really?
Yeah, look at
nice?
Yeah, look how far you come. Go on.
Oh, okay, yeah. But the time while you're staring at the white plates and you don't think, oh, but in 30 years from now, things are going to be much better. It doesn't help. But you're right. Looking back now, it's a growing moment. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Here we go, Nathan.
All right, John, Seattle Sports has our update. Seattle to Everett just hit 1 hour. We've got a solid backup from the U District into Linwood. And now we have a new collision at the 405 interchange blocking the HOV lane. This has created a bumper-to-bumper backup starting almost near State Route 104 now. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. You're slow from 520 in Kirkland up to 527 in Canyon Park. In Everett, southbound I-5, just past 112th, a collision that was blocking has just been moved over to your right shoulder, but it caused a backup starting at State Route 526. Everett to Seattle just hit 1 hour. Once you get through this, which isn't too bad, you're clear all the way into Seattle, 40 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. South 405 is thick at 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton is at a half hour. Our lake bridges continue to look good. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, also a 45-minute drive. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. Let's see. For 25 years, Longevity Medical Clinic has been at the forefront of using the latest science to extend your life. And 25 years ago, people were like, oh, that's all nonsense. But now, if you spend any time on Facebook or social media or anywhere in the news, you see all these clinics popping up all over the place. A lot of them are online. Oh, inject NAD, aminopeptides, do this, do that. You can testosterone, estrogen. They are a little late to the game because Longevity Medical Clinic for 25 years has been there with the latest science. I became a patient in 2009 when they did a blood draw and they took a look at what was happening. I thought I was in great shape until all of a sudden I noticed, man, I got some serious beginnings of some heart disease. But I had been running and taking care of myself. I was shocked. Well, now, after all these years, working with my doctor, doing 4 blood draws a year and then going through an extensive test, we're bringing those numbers down. We're extending and keeping away the big bad stuff that takes most of us out of the game and just giving me more energy. So I'm getting older, but you can't tell because of Longevity Medical Clinic. You be proactive right now. Please take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
After hitting a flat note in L.A.,
Sam looking, dumps a pass, it's intercepted. That's number 4.
the Seahawks head down yonder to Nashville, looking to get that twang back.
As a team, I think we're in good shape. One loss doesn't define us.
Rocking and rolling their way to another win.
You know, it's about us, how we can get better as a team.
When we do it right, it's all within our wheelhouse.
Seahawks, Titans, Sunday, kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7. Giddy up.
Where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM. Do you know someone whose everyday actions make Washington stronger? Someone whose care, service, and connection lift us all. They're Washington's community champions, and WSECU wants to celebrate them this fall. Steve Rabel here. WSECU has been serving Washington since 1957, and they're the only credit union named Forbes' Best Credit Union 5 years running. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your Washington Community Champion today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Matt the Factor.
A new push to abolish the education department.
Senator Patty Murray chats with local educators and parents. We'll have a preview.
Last weekend before Thanksgiving, Paul Holden has your weekend planner.
Another team to root for. The Seattle Torrent take the ice for the first time.
Hope you can join us tomorrow for all the day's news, traffic, and weather.
5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is delightful. During Olympic Hot Tub's Heat Up the Season sale, gift yourself year-round wellness with a saltwater hot spring spa or Tilo sauna. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
The real estate market is picking up and you want to sell with the best. You need to work with the Novak team. Mike Novak guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If not, he'll sell it for free. Go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell it for you. Meet the Novaks Novaks.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Do the holiday parties, tailgating, and family get-togethers have your liver working overtime? Let Active Liver help give your liver some relief at Amazon or VitaCost, CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
President accuses 6 Democrats of seditious behavior.
Every time Donald Trump posts things like this, he makes political violence more likely.
New U.S.-backed peace plan in the works for Ukraine.
Kyiv does not approve of this plan.
Remembering Dick Cheney.
This was a vice president totally devoted to protecting the United States and its interests.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump is accusing 6 Democratic lawmakers of seditious behavior for making a video stating,
"Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders."
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer responding,
"The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials."
CBS's Linda Kenyon.
President Trump called the lawmakers guilty of seditious behavior, punishable by death. Is that what he really wants?
No.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president is objecting to dangerous rhetoric. As for whether the president's words are dangerous,
why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence?
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A federal judge says President Trump's deployment of the National Guard to Washington, D.C. in a crime crackdown violates the Constitution and illegally intrudes on local officials' authority to direct law enforcement in the district. She has ordered the Trump administration to end its months-long deployment and has put her order on hold for 21 days to allow for an appeal. Meantime, sources confirmed to CBS News that Border Patrol agents participating in an immigration operation in Charlotte, North Carolina, have left the city. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meets with U.S. officials to discuss a Trump-backed peace plan with Russia. CBS's Ramy Inocencio.
We're seeing out there the possibility that there may be a call for Ukraine to abandon territory, to give up some weapons, some which could be long range, and then to shrink its army. And, of course, these are demands that Russia has wanted all along.
At Washington National Cathedral, a bipartisan show of respect at the funeral for former Vice President Dick Cheney, who died on November 3rd at 84. He was eulogized by former President George W. Bush.
In moments of testing, Dick Cheney was the model of concentration, alertness, and composure.
Former President Biden sat with Bush and their wives. The first jobs report since the government shutdown was released today, and it's better than expected. CBS's Kelly O'Grady on the September report.
119,000 jobs added. That was significantly more than expected. We were looking at 50,000. It's also a huge turnaround from August where we lost jobs. That is good.
The Dow closed down 387 points. The Nasdaq plunged 486. Now this.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Coming up, why it took so long to get the 99 tunnel back open this morning. That's one story we get to after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All righty, Seattle to Everett has jumped an hour, 10 minutes due to this new collision, North 5 in Linwood, right at the 405 interchange. It's blocking the HOV lane, and you're bumper to bumper starting near 175th there in Shoreline. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. Stop and go between 520 and 527. In Everett, South 5, just past 112. We've got a collision on your right shoulder. It's causing drivers to slow at the scene, and you're backed up to 526. Everett to Seattle is a 1-hour commute. 40 minutes from Linwood with another thick backup from 80th down to I-90. South 405 is thick at 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton is a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way, give yourself 45 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 50-minute commute. We're thick in both directions in the south end between Algona and Sumner, and both directions of I-5 are packed between State Route 18 and the Fife Curve. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. A major drug bust in western Washington as federal agents say 2 distribution rings are now off the streets. DEA and local law enforcement arrested 18 people tied to Mexico and Ecuador, seized more than 140,000 fentanyl pills plus fentanyl powder. DEA Special Agent in Charge, David Reams.
We stopped over 3.5 million lethal doses of fentanyl from hitting the streets in our hometown, saving countless lives.
They also seized cocaine, meth, and heroin, plus guns, explosive devices, and cash. Push to ban license plate reader cameras is gaining traction among Democratic lawmakers in Snohomish County. This even as some local law enforcement promote the benefits of that technology. Stanwood Police Chief Jason Toner says the cameras help them catch a repeat criminal.
We don't keep the data, unless we're using the data for an investigation, it deletes after 30 days. The data is not sold to any third party or anything like that.
Now, Redmond recently paused its program after learning Border Patrol accessed Auburn's cameras without that city's permission. In Lacey, police have arrested a second suspect tied to the drive-by shooting that left 2 teenage brothers dead. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun reports the 20-year-old suspect led police on a chase yesterday.
It took place in Thurston County, where deputies actually followed that suspect into Pierce County. The deputy tried to use a grappler, essentially a net that goes under a suspect's car, but it broke.
Going in for pit, going in for pit.
The chase ended with that pit maneuver. The suspect's car rolled over and hit a guardrail. The 20-year-old was taken to the hospital.
The first suspects appeared in court yesterday. The 99 tunnel closure in Seattle this morning, well, it was initially caused by downed power lines, but a faulty piece of equipment made it worse. WashDOT's R.B. McKeon says the tunnel's switchgear malfunctioned. That means they could not connect power from one side to the other.
We've asked the switchgear equipment manufacturer to come out and take a look at the equipment, make some recommendations about improvements or things that we could do to hopefully prevent this from happening again.
Tunnel closure caused long backups during the morning drive. It fully reopened around 11 o'clock. Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Looking at increasing clouds tonight, but staying dry. Tomorrow, some showers to the north of Snohomish County. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is a thing of great wonder and mystery, quivering with complexity, strength, and resilience. However, also buried within a delicate femininity, and dare I even say, naughtiness.
I don't know. Oh, that's for the Jason Ranch show. Is that the beginning of the Ranch show? Here we go with the John Curley Show. Everybody, come along for the ride. 1-888-973-5476. Steve writes, "Hey Curly, when you dive into the news, is there any way you could also make your way down to the basement and see Charlie Harker regarding a story that he's working on about something happening in Auburn?"
Ooh, wow, that's unusual.
The answer is yes. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to swim underneath the water, and then I'm going to go downstairs and see Charlie.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Diving into the news!
Thanks for having me here.
Sure. I just left the studio.
Yeah, clearly.
So, let me give you the headline, all right? It says here that local media ignores Auburn pastor's child rape case. You've been on this story for how long?
About 10 weeks now. I started in the middle of September, really starting to report this out.
Okay, so bring people up to speed. Who are the main characters in this story?
So the main characters, first of all, are Auburn Mayor Nancy Backus. She just was recently reelected earlier this month. And another person involved here is a guy named Joshua Headley. He was a youth pastor. And he was a youth pastor who, years ago, raped one of his parishioners. She was a 15-year-old girl at his church, and he groomed her, he raped her. And the reason this story came to my attention, I started having people reach out to me from the Auburn community, and they said, why isn't anybody in the media looking into this? So I'm like, looking into what? And they go, the mayor of Auburn wrote a letter for Joshua Headley asking the judge, even after he had confessed, pleaded guilty, the mayor of Auburn, knowing that he was a convicted child rapist, wrote a letter asking for leniency, asking for no prison time for a man who pleaded guilty to third-degree child rape, a felony in Washington State.
Okay, so then the question is, why would she write the letter?
Headley was very involved in the community. This is a guy who, after his rape of this child, left his original church and was a volunteer. He got very active, helped do stuff during COVID. He had fundraisers. He had community gatherings.
But wait, this is after he's been convicted. After being found guilty.
Follow me here, because this is a convoluted story. So Headley rapes this girl. Investigation by police begins. This is something that takes years. This is not days. This is not weeks. It's not months. It's years. He knows he's under investigation by Auburn police. And even while he's under investigation, this is a guy who applies to be a chaplain with Auburn police. This is a guy who goes out and, on behalf of one of the local news websites in Auburn, goes out. He's under investigation for child rape. He goes out and videotapes the Miss Auburn teen pageant on behalf of this news website. He's very active with kids in the community. And people are looking the other way. So I start talking to people. I spoke with a couple pastors. They knew what was going on.
Yeah.
They started finding out, hey, man, they go to local electeds. They go to Mayor Backus herself. They say, we're hearing some really bad stuff. You need to steer clear of this guy. So 2020 rolls around. And 2020 is when the first paperwork starts to show Headley knows the heat is on.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a situation in which the locals are going, this is a bad guy, don't do this, Mayor Backus. Come 2022 is when he finally pleads guilty in June.
Okay.
Headley reaches out to the mayor. He knew her on a friendly level. He writes an email to Mayor Backus. He goes, hey, I've got something kind of personal I need to talk to you about. Can I get your private email? She says something to the effect of, sure, my friend, here it is. We know that's when he told her.
Right. Now, that's illegal. Now, she's working in the capacity of a mayor. She's not allowed to have separate emails. She should have said, if this is responding to me doing something for you as a mayor, I cannot respond to you on a private email. Right, because then you can't get the freedom.
And I'm not entirely familiar with the laws, and I know there are laws.
Yeah.
And what struck one of the pastors I spoke to, John, was she goes, he knew Headley knew that whatever he were to get from her private email would not be subject to public disclosure
Right.
laws.
She's right. She's going around. He's going around that. Okay. So here's the guy. What year did he rape this 15-year-old?
Yeah, it was the mid 2010s. I think it's 2016, but
Okay.
right around then.
So he pleads guilty to avoid the whole trial and with the court and everything else with the jury. Then he writes a letter to the mayor asking the mayor for what?
He wanted her to write a letter on his behalf that his lawyer could then in turn share with the judge, asking for leniency. Instead of serving prison time, she says, I think that restorative justice should be something that it comes into play here. And by the way, that term restorative justice, you hear that every so often, right?
Yeah.
Everybody I spoke to who was on the side of Headley brings up that specific phrase when they talk about him.
Sure.
And you know that restorative justice is a legal term as well as kind of a philosophical term. People might tend to think, okay, maybe the prosecutor's office wanted restorative justice. That's what I started thinking when I heard back from Mayor Backus after I asked her, what did you say? She says, well, I'm a strong believer in restorative justice.
Right. Restorative justice restores the justice, quote unquote, for the offender, but not necessarily for the person who has been raped. So here we are.
I want to make really clear, John, this was not through the prosecutor's office. This was a kind of a red herring. That did not happen. I spoke to Casey McNerthy, and he goes, oh, no. No, we do not do this, especially when it is a 27-year-old man who rapes a 15-year-old child. That would not
There's no
happen.
restorative justice for it. Okay. So it seems to me like this guy then decides he knows that the heat is on, so he starts volunteering for a whole bunch of stuff. He does stuff with the cops. He does stuff with others. Volunteering, put a lot of time into it. So it looks like on his resume, he's a really upstanding member of community. Sure, maybe this happened back in 2014, 2015, but he's a really good guy.
And in fact, he is getting these awards from the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
The Chamber of Commerce is giving him, under his name, Joshua Headley. They give him and his ministry an award for all the great work he did for the community during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So he has been awarded by the chamber. He's obviously perceived by the mayor as somebody deserving of a letter she has never written for anyone, she tells me. She's never written a letter like that for anyone, but she writes this letter. And by the way, in this letter, one of the crazy things is she even wrote in this letter, I don't take this decision lightly, and something to the effect of, as I know I'm responsible for the safety of my city. So she writes that. Headley winds up going to prison. He goes to prison. He is sentenced to something like 13 months, serves 6 months. So he gets out of prison. And what does he do? He hits the ground running. He changes his business name. Goes by a guy named Jay Seeley now. And as Jay Seeley,
he's a registered sex offender in the state of Washington.
He's using the Headley name. So he did not register the Jay Seeley name. So as Jay Seeley...
Yeah, he can go anywhere he wants.
And he decides what he wants to do is to go around and work with political campaigns. And so he films videos and does social media for this company called Seeley Media. He doesn't associate the Headley name with any of the business filings. And... state law says you're supposed to register any alias on the sex offender registry within 3 days. He didn't do that until this year when somebody snitched him out. Somebody found out who he was. So he is going around to different political campaigns, and this is all on the PDC website. You can see all the different campaigns that pay this guy to do their campaign work for him. That includes the Yes for Yelm Schools campaign, where he posts a picture of himself on social media. He's got the school bus behind him. He is going and recording social media videos with Yelm students, kids. Now, he's a sex offender. He's a registered sex offender. And nobody seems to be any wiser, but here's what I found interesting.
Wait, Charlie, the whole thing's interesting.
This was something I couldn't believe, John. He has the Chamber of Commerce is still very involved with the Auburn Chamber of Commerce under this new name.
Yeah.
And with the Auburn Chamber of Commerce, he is ostensibly meeting all these civic leaders within the Auburn Chamber. And he's using this Seeley name. He's not using this Headley name. They nominate him for yet another award.
Wow.
And his wife is on the board of the Auburn Chamber of Commerce.
Groomers are really good at getting people's trust, right?
Yes.
And then once they get the trust, then they create this relationship of give and take, right? And then to eventually you get the point where the person really is like your friend or your confidant or whatever, and then they normally move into some sort of sexual relationship, normally with a minor, because it's easier to fool those people. So he's using a lot of these sort of grooming techniques on members of the Chamber of Commerce, on political people. He's very smart. He's going, who could hurt me the most? Well, the police, so I'll volunteer for the police. Politicians can hurt me as well. Businesses can also shut me down. So I'll groom them, in effect, right? I don't know the guy, so I use the word sociopath lightly, but it's sociopathic behavior because it's what is your real intent on this sort of stuff? It's survival and to keep himself out of trouble. So now the mayor knows that this guy is a sex offender. He's found guilty. He's done time for it. Has she, at this point, does anybody in the chamber go, whoa, hold on, we got fooled, we got hoodwinked by this guy, and now all of this is stopping, and we're going to run him out of town?
John, his wife is literally a board member of the Chamber of Commerce. He is nominated for an award with the Chamber of Commerce under this new business name. It strains credibility to believe that no one in the city of Auburn and all these civic connections did not know that here we have a guy who was convicted of child rape, and he is essentially being welcomed back with open arms as he's using this new name and building his business and he hasn't registered as a sex offender.
Well, I would assume it would take about 15 and a half seconds for, now that the story is out and who this guy is, that all you do is you take that business and you say this business promotes and works with a registered sex offender, a child rapist. If you want to do business with this company, you're also helping a child rapist. I mean, it would be over. I mean, it would be instantaneously just done. I mean, this is like you're going back to the Me Too stuff or cancel culture. This guy should be canceled.
What happened to...
Like, is the next shoe dropping, Charlie?
Yeah. So a couple different things happened. First of all, they found out in Yelm about this. They were running a levy campaign, and they were horrified.
Yeah.
They couldn't believe it, and they dropped him. There were strong condemnations from the Thurston County Democrats saying they dropped him when they found out. But the story didn't seem to affect many people the way I thought it would. Here we have political leaders and a civic community who have essentially let a guy have a free pass. And at the same time, remember Mayor Backus.
Mm-hmm.
I had reached out to her in early October when I was ready to start asking questions about this.
Yeah.
You might remember Mayor Backus at the same time. After I asked her these questions, and I'm not saying these two things are related, she started raising a lot of heck over the Kevin Coe release into the city of Auburn, the South Hill rapist, saying that sex offenders have no place in the city of Auburn. At the very same time she's getting all of this publicity, she also knows I'm asking her questions about why she is speaking on behalf and sending letters on behalf of a man who raped a child.
And?
I do my story. I report on it. I'm standing by. I'm waiting for members of Seattle media asking me, hey, where did you get that paperwork? Where can I find this? This is a crazy story. Our elected leaders, we need to get to the bottom of this. And there's so much more to report out, right?
Yeah.
Crickets. The Center Square had one article on this. This is the only attention, a story that involves mayor, business community, and a sex offender who tried to keep his identity secret. That's the only attention it got from local media.
Okay, so you want to speculate as to why that's the case, or you don't want to do that?
I don't want to speculate, but I really can't believe it, because in the context of the Epstein files, when we start talking about how outrageous it is for people to protect a man for so many years accused of doing horrible things, when we point a finger in Washington, D.C. about something like that happen, we really need to be looking at ourselves as well. Are we going to protect someone here? And maybe there is nothing else, but people were warned. This is somebody who was convicted of a sex crime. We have this 15-year-old girl who says to the judge, she's writing her letter to the judge in her victim impact statement, I believe that the abusers have more rights than the victims. Well, guess what? Sure looks that way. That girl was right.
Okay, so in the remaining 2 minutes, the guy now has to register that name. His second name must now be registered. He now has, that's out. You've contacted the Washington State, whoever is in charge of that stuff.
March 17th, he gets found out somehow. The sheriff's office adds him to the sex offender registry.
Okay.
Guess who's dropped his SealyMedia.com website and is presumably operating under a new name? And presumably, we don't know what that name is.
But a violation of not registering within 3 days, that's criminal.
That's a felony.
That's a felony. So you go back in for that. I assume he's gone back in and done time for that?
I haven't heard any follow-up.
Okay. And then all the businesses that were associated with him or are associated with him would then be made public. I assume we could do that. You would do that?
I think if you look at the Public Disclosure Commission, you can see all of the campaigns and political officials who have given him money for his services. I want to make it clear, I don't know if they knew or not.
Right. But the businesses that are still associated, that are part of the chamber represents all those businesses. So whoever head of the chamber needs to come forward and go, my gosh, we had no idea who this guy was. We got fooled by him. We're deeply sorry. We feel sorry for the 15-year-old who's now, 24 or something like that. So, and we apologize to the community, and we're sorry that this happened. I assume the chamber, that's probably the next step. You said, where's the story go next, right?
I'd gotten a letter from the chamber once they knew I was going for it. They hadn't responded to my email. I gotten a letter from the chamber saying, well, all of our interactions were through this one person who is in the community. And even in that first letter from the chamber, they don't indicate that that person is also on the chamber board, and that person is his wife. They were not very clear. And
all right, this story's going to keep going.
transparent.
The story's going to keep going.
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. I got to go. Charlie, thanks. I got to right back up. Thank you. Nate. Yeah, all right, there we go. How about that, huh? Boy. Let's go to Nate over there checking traffic. Nathan.
Here I am. Yes. DR Horton has the update. Seattle to Everett, an hour 15. We cleared our collision north 5 at the 405 interchange. It's on your left shoulder. Traffic is thick in Northgate all the way into Linwood. The backup actually begins in the U District. Bellevue to Everett, you're at 55 minutes. It's solid between 520 and 527. In Everett to Seattle, a 1 hour trip. South 5 is slow from the Boeing Freeway down to 112 from an earlier collision that is now clear. More slowing in Linwood, and then you're jam-packed from 85th to I-90. North 5 thick at Albro Place in the downtown. Southbound 405 is thick at 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. It thins out from there, but you're not going to clear out till you hit the Renton Landing. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. This backup adds to that westbound 90 backup starting at 150th and Eastgate for drivers stacking up in those 405 exit lanes. And Tacoma to Olympia just hit 1 hour. We've got a new collision South 5 at South 56. It's on your right shoulder, but it's got you jammed up to State Route 16, and then another 4 mile thick backup through JBLM. Move-in ready homes from DR Horton, America's builder across Puget Sound and Central Washington. Find yours at drhorton.com, an equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Would it be nice to live a longer life? Of course. I mean, if somebody said to you, you have 1 year to live or 5 years to live or 10 years to live, well, how could I get more years to live? Well, you could become a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic. That'd be one way to do it. Because when you're with the doctors there at Longevity, as I have been since 2009, they are proactive.
They are looking for early signs of something that could take you out of the game early, like heart disease, diabetes, or cancer. Plus, along the way, they're also finding all the stuff that's slowing you down and making you feel older. Aches and pains, loss of energy, brain fog, not quite what you were in the old bedroom, all that sort of stuff. All the stuff that normally comes along with getting older. And you're like, well, what do I expect? I'm just getting older. Why? Why do you have to subject yourself to the ravages of time when you have actual modern science that's proven to be able to help you? So you could be proactive right now. You could take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
This season, gift yourself the chance to slow down and truly savor holiday wonders just a short journey from home. Victoria, BC glows with festive lights, charming traditions, and the space to reconnect with yourself, loved ones, and the joy of the season. Victoria is just a scenic ferry or seaplane ride from Seattle, making it the perfect getaway. This Christmas, step into a more relaxed rhythm. Plan your trip at tourismvictoria.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. We are now hearing from the parents of an infant who became sick with botulism tied to recalled baby formula. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley reports from Tacoma, where 2-month-old Kinsley spent 5 days in the hospital.
Kinsley's parents told me they started noticing some odd symptoms. She was sleeping more than normal, and then they got a call notifying them they had purchased a product that had been recalled.
You see recalls all the time, and you kind of just brush them off because it's never happened to you, and then it does. And it doesn't feel real.
Now, at this point, all ByHeart Whole Nutrition infant formula products have been recalled after at least 31 cases of infant botulism have been linked to them.
Kinsley's parents are now suing ByHeart. First jobs report since the government shutdown was released today. It was better than expected, 119,000 jobs added. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says the jobless rate still went up slightly.
4.4% unemployment, it ticked up. It's still within the healthy band, but that is the highest that we've seen since October 2021.
Fed will consider all the data when it meets next month to discuss potential interest rate cuts. New TikTok trend has law enforcement in Pierce County worried about the safety of teens who take that challenge. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch explains.
In the new challenge, TikTok Kick, kids actually kick doors and make threats, sometimes doing significant damage to property, but also putting themselves in potentially dangerous situations. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
Not only are these challenges criminal, but they're dangerous in a sense that they're putting our juveniles in a position to potentially get themselves killed.
Capetto urges parents to talk with their kids about the illegality of these challenges and the danger. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, it was a mess inside the Highway 99 tunnel this morning. It is back open, though, after a power outage shut it down for hours this morning. It caused big traffic jams into Seattle. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu was caught up in the West Seattle Bridge backup.
It took me about 90 minutes to get from my home just off the bridge in West Seattle to right here in Soto. Usually on a bad day, that's about 15 minutes.
Downed power lines caused the outage, but WashDOT says a faulty piece of equipment prolonged the closure. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:34. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, this one brought to us by Global Credit Union. Seattle to Everett, still about an hour, 10-minute commute. Solid from the U District to Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. You're solid between 520 and 527 in Canyon Park, and then you're going to clear out right away. Linwood to Seattle, a 45-minute commute. You're crowded through Linwood, a typical 2 miles or so, and then bumper to bumper from 85th down to I-90. North 5 is thick from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Southbound 405 packed at 520 to Cold Creek Parkway, and then you'll start to thin out from there. Bellevue to Renton, give yourself a good 35 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, southbound 167, a 50-minute commute. Both directions of 167 are jammed up in the south end between Algona and Sumner. Of course, now we've got this daily grind northbound 167 through the Pacific Bridge Strike work zone where you're down to one lane. That'll be with us for the next couple months. Tacoma to Olympia at 1 hour, south 5 at 56. We've got a crash on the right shoulder, and traffic jams up for about 4 miles along JBLM. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. For tonight, mainly dry, some patchy fog. Mainly south, some isolated showers also near the Canadian border on Friday, but mostly dry across the states. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News starting at 4. When you need to stay plugged in and connected, they've got you. Live breaking news so you know what's happening now. Investigations and in-depth coverage to get you answers. Weather on the way to help you prepare. Bringing the day's biggest stories into focus so you know more. Watch KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 only on KIRO 7 TV.
Well said, well read, Joe. That's good. You're much better than yesterday.
Yes.
You ranked like just under the Titans. All right. I mentioned Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers. Aaron and I were talking about Buc-ee's earlier before. We just go round and round. We're like, which is your favorite? There are 16 different ones. And Aaron's got his favorite four he likes to go to.
Oh.
And I've got my favorite four. Sure. So we're going to get the whole family together. And Thanksgiving, we're going to go to the rest of them.
I like the one in the Renton Highlands.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I see that one all the time.
Oh, my God. You go in there.
It's a
just
beautiful
like
building.
Beautiful.
Ooh, lovely.
Been around for 50 years.
That one specifically?
No. Just Buc-ee's just in general.
Right.
Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers.
Talking sports with
Yeah, full version.
Go-to guy for any game or feat of athleticism. Talking
Sports with Rye. All he got is a job from nepotism. It doesn't work at Home Depot anymore. That lyric needs to be struck.
And have the crowd cheering, begging, asking him for more. Yeah, we're talking sports with Rye.
Right, Roller, here we go. The Titans, the Tennessee Titans. There's a guy he's an analyst. He's on Sports Illustrated. He says the Titans are going to win this game against the Seahawks. Your thoughts?
No kidding. Who is that?
What's his name?
His name is, you had to dig deep for this guy. He's the only one on the internet. Brent Sableski from Bleacher Report.
Oh, that tells me all I need to know. Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report, no good. Yeah, well, I guess here's the thing. You look at the Titans, and the great thing about sports is that it's the ultimate meritocracy.
Yes.
You reap what you sow, and if you make bad decisions, you will pay for them. And you wish you saw that more in real life, but you see it 100% of the time in sports. And the Titans have made a lot of really questionable decisions over the past 5 years. They were, in recent memory, at one point a 1 seed in the AFC, going to AFC championship games, like taking the Chiefs down to the wire, almost playing for the Super Bowl. And they just made a lot of questionable decisions. They fired their head coach, Mike Vrabel, which I identified as a misdiagnosis of their issues. They just were like, oh, we haven't been good in the last 2 years. Let's fire Mike Vrabel. Well, Mike Vrabel right now is the head coach of the New England Patriots, and they have the best record in the NFL. So nice going. And then they fired their GM. They fired their GM. So they fired Vrabel. You're like, okay, so I guess they're going to stick with their GM as sort of the skipper of this ship.
Yeah.
They fired him like a month later. So who the heck's in charge? And then they go out and they hire Brian Callahan. You talk about nepotism. There you go. He only got a job. And he just never inspired. He never won over those fans, never won over those players. They start this year horribly and they fire him. So now they have this skeleton staff of coaches who are literally just going, all right, we're just going to stick this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking for jobs in other cities next year. Mike Mayock is their interim head coach. He has absolutely no qualms about coming back next year. He's a dead man walking. They're all dead men walking.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, and they're horrible. Like, they're really bad. Like, they are either 31st or 32nd in almost every single offensive category, whether it's rushing yards, passing yards, touchdowns, points, DVOA, if you want to get into the more analytical side of it. But, Dad, I'll take you back.
Okay.
November 3rd, 2013. Do you remember?
Hold on.
It was a Seahawks versus Buccaneers game in Week 9. We were at the game. The Buccaneers were 0-7. The Seahawks were 7-1.
Okay.
Do you remember this game?
Yes, I remember this game.
Okay. What happened in the first half of that game? Do you remember?
Is it where there was scoring over and over and over and over again? Was that the game where I said if we're leaving early if there's a score?
No. It's okay.
All right, take the music out.
This is like a seminal memory for me as a child.
Oh,
went
here
to
we
this
go.
game.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
And everybody's laughing at the Buccaneers. They have Mike Glennon is their starting quarterback. No one's heard of any of these guys. They haven't won a game. It was 21-0. This is the Legion of Boom defense. They put up 21 points in the first half. It was 21-0 with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the first half.
Yes.
And everybody in the crowd's looking around going, what the heck?
Yes.
The Seahawks,
Yes. Okay. Yes.
the
I'm
Seahawks
there.
were
I'm there. Yes.
7-1, and they went on to win the Super Bowl that year. And the Bucs, there's a great quote from a not so great man, Urban Meyer. In his first year as a head coach in the NFL, he was coaching with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he got caught on a hot mic talking to another coach of an opposing team. And he went, and he's Urban Meyer's famous for college football.
Yeah.
And he said, man, this league is really tough. It's like every single week we've got Alabama. And that's really the truth. There are no bad teams in this league. It's any given Sunday. Any team can win. So we look back to that Buccaneers game. By the way, the Seahawks came back and won that one in overtime.
Yeah.
Steven Hauschka knocked in the game winner. But you can just never be too confident. And the Titans, the last 2 weeks, they took the Texans down to the wire, and they played in some close games. They have a rookie quarterback, the number 1 overall pick. This is really the headline of their season. is Cam Ward. We know him from his 1 year at WSU. Then he went on to Miami, was the first overall pick in the draft. Very raw talent. And he's had a hard time getting the ball out this year. He's taken a lot of sacks. There's absolutely no weapons on this team.
Okay, then you're right. I need a prediction. Don't give me that. What are you giving me that look for?
It's like I'm making all these points.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I'm listening, but I got Nate in there. You know how
okay,
we're not on Cozy
31-13.
right now, where somebody can talk about blueberries for an hour. What is it?
I didn't know. 31-13. Seahawks win.
Well, don't go away angry.
I'm sorry. I thought I had more time.
No, you spent all that time talking about Buc-ee's and Thanksgiving. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted you to react to
You
this.
can't trust Sam Darnold. You can't. And again, I no disrespect to Sam Darnold, but imagine how Sam Darnold felt after the first pick, then the second pick, then the third pick. I doubt Sam Darnold can even trust himself.
No, I was going to have you react to that, but I.
So you interrupted me with that. That guy.
Still.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Welcome to working with your dad.
Oh, okay. Oh, I wanted you to react to that, but we ran out because Nate's got traffic.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to do the next segment, you want to do traffic.
Look, I got a TBA on the schedule for the next thing, so he can stay.
All right, can you stick around?
There really isn't a whole lot of meat on this bone. I mean, it's the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
I think I've said it.
All right. God love you. All right. Bye-bye. Love. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Yeah, Seattle Sports has the update. Seattle to Everett, still an hour 10. It's solid from the U District all the way into Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. You're solid from 520 into 527 at Canyon Park. Linwood to Seattle, a 45-minute commute. North 5 is packed from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Seattle to Federal Way is at 35 minutes. Let's see, in Puyallup, we've got westbound 512 just before the Puyallup River Bridge. It crashes in your left lane. You're backed up on the southbound 167, and that backup actually starts way back at the Outlet Mall in Algona. And if you're heading through South Hill, both directions of State Route 161, Meridian, you're stop and go from the South Hill Mall, between the South Hill Mall and 187th Street. That's a 5-mile stretch, just volume here. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You think Rye's still upset with me?
He definitely is.
I don't want to come back on again. That's the problem. I can tell you right now, I used to have a whole box of glasses, whole drawer full of glasses, ones to see drive at night, up close. I mean, my eyes were a mess. And every year I go to the doctor, he's like, well, looks like you need another prescription. I was like, well, that's another $450 or something. I heard about RLE, refractive lens exchange. So I looked around. There's a bunch of different places that do it. So the first one I went to is K2 Vision. I meet Dr. Kopstein there, K2 Vision RLE, and I asked him the slightly uncomfortable question, how many of these have you done? Because I don't want to, this would be my first. He was like, forget it. He's done probably 100,000. So I'm in good hands. Then he said, listen, I'm not going to do this unless it has a great result. I might tell you to come back in 10 or 15 or 20 years. So he looks at my eyes. Your eyes are in bad shape. You look cataract in your right eye. We can take care of that. So I do. 5 minutes one eye, 5 on the other. Go back in. And my story is amazing. I've got 20/20 vision. Now, this was a couple of years ago. I'm over the age of 50, well over the age of 50, and I've got 20/20 vision. So no more readers, no more glasses, no more contacts. If you want that to be your story, K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
I was asking Joe if it feels weird. I get, you know what it is? It's because I'm engaged in this illicit affair.
I'm not comfortable with this.
Okay, I don't know if you've ever experienced this. Somebody will just text you out of the blue. Hey, how you doing? Are you settling into your new home or something? And you go, I'm sorry, who is this? And then they'll write back, oh, I wrote your number down. Is this not Ella? This is Molly. We all met playing golf at some place. Like, what? Right? And then so I know it's a total scam. Just like they're scamming you. They're just trying to get you on WhatsApp and then they're getting you money. So you can't quite see it on this. Maybe you can. I haven't been engaging with this scammer for about 48 hours, right? I mean, look how much I've written this person.
Oh, my God.
And they've sent me, I told them, she goes, hey, are you having a good day? It's like, Michael, you having a great day? I'm thinking about you. Wait a minute. You went from getting the wrong number to all of a sudden thinking about me and asking me. I said, yes, I'm actually going to go meet my boss. I might be getting a promotion. Well, yeah. Good luck. You certainly deserve it.
You guys are trading breakfast photos.
Yeah, she is, right? Yeah. And then I said, well, I'm going up and I come back down. How did it go? Did your boss recognize the great value that you bring to this company every single day? Like, oh, yeah, that's the way people talk.
And I said, yeah, I bought myself a Porsche. And I took a picture of the Porsche.
Yeah.
And, oh, you deserve that. You're, I mean, it's a computer. There's no way a human being's doing all this talking, right? Where do you live? Seattle and Park City. Oh, listen what she says about being in Seattle. Seattle and Park City are both great cities, and I really like Seattle. My visit to the Space Needle and its unique design left a deep impression on me. Were you sitting on top of it? So then...
Wait, and then you keep asking me, oh, she wants to know where I work. What should I say? Oh, no.
I work at Amazon.
Yeah, no, but no. Oh, don't say you work there.
But I've got her. I said, I'm in the middle of something. It's pretty serious. I don't know if I can talk about it. She goes, of course we can talk about it. We can talk about anything. We're friends, aren't we? Like, friends?
You're just playing the long game with a PC?
Yeah. We can talk about anything without reservations. I think that's how friendship should be. I thought we were already friends, but I believe we can build our even stronger relationship and friendship.
She asked for a
Please speak
selfie,
to me
right?
about anything. I'm a good listener. Wait till I hear what the problem is when I tell her.
You have so much invested in this.
I've got
becoming
an uncle,
a distraction.
I've got an uncle who's gay, having an affair with his doctor. They're going to fake his death and then move to Madagascar. I got a whole plan.
You are going to spend so much time with this over the weekend.
She wants to switch me over to WhatsApp, but that's where it gets dangerous. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, wait till my aunt finds out that my made-up uncle is gay, having an affair with a doctor, is going to fake his death and head him to Madagascar. Wow, but first let's go to Nate checking traffic. Nate.
All right, Kia of Everett has the update in Puyallup, westbound 512, just before the Puyallup River Bridge. Got this crash blocking your left lane. You're backed up to southbound 167, adding to that southbound backup. It starts way back at the Outlet Mall in Algona. That's a thick backup. Renton to Puyallup will take you 50 minutes, and the brunt of this is south of State Route 18. Now, northbound 167, you're in a 2-mile thick backup heading towards that Pacific Bridge work zone where we're down to a single lane for the next couple months. Plan on 25 minutes to clear this backup. Drivers are avoiding this backup and heading over to I-5, and now North 5 is heavy from Fife all the way up to State Route 18. Tacoma to Federal Way, 25 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia will take you 55 minutes. And we got a new crash on 405 in Kirkland, North 405 and Northeast 85th. It's in the HOV lane. Bellevue to Everett just climbed an hour and 10 minutes. Seattle to Everett also an hour 10 minutes. From the K4 to the Telluride to the EV9, be ready this winter with amazing pricing and financing. Now is the time to buy a Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
There we go. By the way, Nate, I just took a picture of you because my scammers asked for a photo of me.
Oh, nice.
I'll send her you. I want to let you know, I have become the biggest fan of Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. I met him about 2 months ago. I asked my chiropractor to send over pictures, my x-rays and MRI over there. And everybody I talked to about when it came to a stem cell procedure, every single person said, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. When I walked into the office, great office, they've got Seahawks jerseys and a bunch of athletes. I'm like, well, if these guys are going to see him, I'm going. This is at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. A really bad hip. I was supposed to get surgery, get a whole new hip, but I thought, I don't want to do that. And I got to tell you, a 90-minute in-office procedure, and I'm back. I can't wait to start running again. So if you got a bad elbow or wrist or knee, if you're thinking about surgery before you do that, you owe it to yourself to go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
She and Ursula agreed to disagree.
This is happening until we do a better job at addressing affordable housing.
We're spending more money on homelessness, and yet it does keep getting worse.
Weekday mornings at 11:06 on KIRO News Radio.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. 6 Democratic lawmakers in a video tell military members,
you can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
President Trump's response on social media is that they should be charged with seditious behavior punishable by death. Top Democrats in Congress are calling for the president to be condemned forcefully. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham saying in the video,
I think what they did was despicable. I don't agree with the president. They should be put in jail. But I do believe what they did was despicable, and they need to explain themselves.
Democratic Senate leader Chuck Schumer says that he is asking Capitol Police for more protection for the lawmakers in the video. The Trump administration is proposing new oil drilling off the coasts of California and Florida. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The plan to expand oil drilling comes as the U.S. is already leading the world in oil production. On social media, California Governor Gavin Newsom called the idea dead on arrival, while the state's attorney general said, quote, California is not your playground. The U.S. government has not allowed drilling in federal waters off the Florida Gulf Coast since 1995 due to concerns about oil spills.
President Trump signs off on a 28-point plan to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Ukrainians, however, have not approved it. CBS's Torian Small reports.
A White House official told CBS News Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has been consulting with both Russians and Ukrainians for feedback on the proposal. A statement from President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said he expects to talk to President Trump about the key points, but he has long rejected giving up land.
Sources tell CBS News that the Justice Department is reviewing the investigation into alleged mortgage fraud by California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff. As CBS's Nicole Killian reports,
well, we are learning now that there may be an investigation into the investigation, if you will, or the investigators in terms of how this probe into Adam Schiff is being handled.
Federal officials involved in the Schiff investigation in Maryland have interviewed a Republican congressional candidate who has promoted the mortgage fraud allegations against Schiff. A preliminary report has been released into last month's deadly crash of a UPS cargo plane that went down in Louisville, Kentucky during takeoff. CBS's Chris Van Cleve says, according to the investigators, there appeared to be a significant issue with the plane.
What they found were signs of fatigue cracks, fatigue in the metal, that it appears touched off this sequence of disaster.
14 people died in the fiery crash. A 1940 self-portrait by Frida Kahlo has sold at Sotheby's in New York for almost $55 million, a record for a female artist. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Details on two big drug busts here in Western Washington. That's one story coming up after we go to the traffic desk with Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. This one brought to us by Home Comfort Alliance. In Kirkland, we've got a collision north 405 at 85th. It's blocking the HOV lane, and that's adding to a solid backup from 520 all the way to 527. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 10 minutes. Seattle to Everett, hour 15, and it's bumper to bumper from Ravenna Boulevard there in the U District all the way to the Linwood interchange. Linwood to Seattle has gone up to 50 minutes. We're backed up through Linwood, and then again solid from Northgate to I-90. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on both I-90 and 520. In Puyallup, we've got this collision westbound 512. It's just before the Puyallup River. It's blocking your left lane, and they're trying to move it to the right lane, so that right lane might be blocked now as well. You're backed up to southbound 167. That backup is now bumper to bumper starting at the Outlet Mall in Algona. Renton to Puyallup now up to 55 minutes. And out toward Kingston, if you're heading to catch the Kingston Ferry, you're dealing with a collision eastbound 104 at Ritter Lane. It's blocking that eastbound lane. Looks like traffic alternating in the westbound lane. The Black Friday Comfort Sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75%, plus enjoy 18 months, 0% financing OAC. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granello. A coalition of parents, teachers, and law enforcement is urging voters to reject two initiatives they call anti-trans. Both measures come from Let's Go Washington, led by Brian Haywood. He discussed those measures on the Jason Ranch Show earlier this year.
One of the great things about being in America is this ability to think and speak and act freely, and especially as parents to do what's right for your kids.
Now, one measure would ban transgender girls from girls' sports. The other would restore the so-called Parents' Bill of Rights. Amarinthia Torres is with the Coalition for Ending Gender-Based Violence. She opposes them.
Schools are one of the few lifelines where kids can access a safe and trusted adult. This is especially important for queer and trans kids who are disproportionately likely to face rejection from their family.
She is part of the group now urging voters not to sign those initiatives. Case of child abuse in Tacoma is now being investigated as a murder. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has more.
Isn't adding up either. So Tacoma police tell us officers were sent to St. Helens Avenue last week because a little 2-year-old boy wasn't breathing. But they say the man who was caring for that little boy told a story that didn't really match what they saw. So that man was arrested for assault. The boy was taken to the hospital, and sadly he died yesterday. So this is now a homicide investigation.
And we don't know yet the man's relationship to that toddler. Federal agents and local police just busted 2 separate drug rings with ties to Ecuador and Mexico. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
Following 2 long-term multi-agency undercover operations, federal and local officials arrested 18 people. More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized, along with cocaine, meth, heroin, guns, explosive devices, and $360,000 in cash. DEA Special Agent in Charge, David Reams.
The fentanyl alone seized in this case could have killed a staggering 3.3 million people.
Of those arrested, 5 were siblings. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are dry through tonight, some patchy fog, mainly to the south tomorrow morning. And then we are mostly dry until Sunday when rain increases. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granello, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Dude, you got the best barrels ever, dude. Just you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip, whoop,
Yeah.
drop down,
Okay.
snap, and then after that, you just drop in,
sound
ride
like
the
Aaron.
barrel, and get pitted, so pitted like that.
Alrighty, Hibbing with the John Curley Show. You can text us 1-888-973-5476. Paul in Sammamish, where are you with your soon-to-be letter of the day? Because you got some little weird thing going on with Teeny. Choosing the letter of the day. Let me just check and see if I've been. Let me dive in first. Hang on. Let me dive in. All right, ongoing. If you missed it earlier, I am getting scammed by this person who claims to be Molly, and she has sent me numerous texts, and I've been sort of slowly breadcrumbing her, leading her. So I'm going to scam the scammer. And Joe's like, it's a computer. You're going to scam it. It's not real. No one speaks like that. The last thing is, Molly has asked me for a photograph of myself, and she wants to share one with me. Ooh. And I've got I told her I'm very nervous today. I've got a lot of things going on my mind, and I'm afraid that I might be getting myself in trouble with something that I probably shouldn't be. And she's like, whatever you do, take good care of yourself. Can you please send me a photo, and can we switch over to WhatsApp? Why not get you on WhatsApp? And Joe's like, don't do that. That's how they scam you. Well, I got her. Because I sent her a picture of Nate. Oh. So now she's going to have to look at that beauty right there. All right. So it's so weird. I don't know why I'm fascinating with this.
Yeah, you are. It's a sickness.
It is a sickness. I got a fever. I got a fever. More cowbell. All right. So this story, the flock camera thing. Everybody knows what it is, right? So these cameras, I would like to thank the flock folks that found my stolen car. The flock cameras are set up at certain intersections, and it just constantly takes photographs of every single license plate. And then every once in a while, you'll get a police officer say, hey, we're looking for plate number, K11944K, what, W, and they just put it in there into the flock data computer. And then if that thing goes by, bing, hey, you asked me to look for that. Here it is. It then notifies the police and then says, here's where the car is. It's heading over here. That's how they were able to find Nick's car. Because the camera took it, license plate hit, they got a hit. They knew where the car was because the next camera knew which street the car was on. Good. This is how they get most of these cars. This is also how they catch a lot of bad guys. If they know a bad guy tried to do something, it happened in Linwood. He shot somebody or stabbed somebody. He was in a car, had that license plate on there. The cops were then notified the thing went by, and they went and they got the guy. So that's the way it's supposed to work. There is a lawyer by the name of Tim Hall. He is in Yakima, and he is representing, what's the guy's name?
Jose Rodriguez.
Jose Rodriguez. And Jose Rodriguez, along with Tim Hall, have been suing a number of cities. What they'll say is, we want all of your information. Give us all of the data that you have. This is public records. We want all the data. And when you put the request in, the city has to turn it over to you when you file Freedom of Information request. But if you were unscrupulous, you might ask for the data a couple of days before you know it's automatically going to be deleted. Because the way the cities have this set up with Flock, the corporation that does this, it's set every 30 days. It just dumps the data, just deletes it. Well, if you were an unscrupulous individual, like an attorney, you might say, hey, or a person can do this, send me all of the data. Well, the person gets your request, and it's a Thursday, and then by the time they get around to sending you the data, it's gone. Whoops, that's a violation of the Public Records Act in the state of Washington. So now you get some money. Now the city has to give you some money because you put the request in, the data is gone, and you could ask for like $75,000 or $74,000.
Or we could settle right now for $35,000
or you get $445,000.
Right.
Again, if you're some attorney that realized, hey, I could take advantage of that. I can get somebody to ask for all this information, and I can time it in such a way that it just automatically gets deleted. It would be like automatically deleting the slot machine and then having a ding, 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 ding. stuff shooting out of it.
Can I read you what he told the Seattle Times, Jose Rodriguez?
Is this the tattoo artist who's very concerned about his privacy?
That's right. He said, the government can't just put a tracker on us without a warrant, but these cameras are basically doing the same thing. We can't go down the streets without them knowing where we go 24/7. I feel like we're being watched by a bunch of prison guards. And he and his representative, Tim Hall, have put in records requests with 50 different police agencies in the state. Not just in Yakima.
Yeah. I won't say who it was and what city it was, but I talked to a person there, and the exchange was, you owe me $75,000 or $74,000, and the guy said, we're not doing that. He goes, okay, let's call it 45. We'll send me 45,000. Right. We'll call it even.
Right. And this is the chief of police in a city here in Washington. And we reach out to several other cities just to ask them, city administrators, hey, have you been contacted by this attorney? Yeah. Are they trying to shake you down for money? And each one has said, well, since these cases are currently being litigated, we can't comment.
Right.
Which essentially is a yes.
But we don't know that.
No.
But think about it. You could do it too. You know it's going to get dumped every 30 days. And now a judge has said that this is public records, which then opens a whole nother kettle of fish if you keep fish in kettles and then put a lid on them, and then you got to open it up. Because then at that point, well, then there's a privacy issue. So it's public record and then privacy. But look, it's taking pictures of everybody's license plate. But the judge just stepped in and said, oh, yeah, you have a right for this sort of thing. So
And the agencies are saying, we don't even know what these cameras are taking pictures of until we're looking for something.
Yeah, you have to have a case.
Right.
You got to put in there, this license plate is missing, so it's going to grab that one. The rest of the stuff, it doesn't care, just dumps it. So every 30 days, just dumping it. Again, I'm not saying you want to do this to make $74,000 in violation of the Public Records Act. But you just time it right and just send a request in. Hope it hits during a holiday or hope it hits on a weekend, comes in on a Thursday.
Yeah, and he's hit 50 of them. I mean, there can't be that many more.
Rodriguez, the tattoo artist, is very concerned about people's privacy. So he's fighting the good fight for all of us.
Casting a very wide net.
I mean, but that I don't mean to cast dispersions against. I'm sure they have legitimate reasons. Again, he's like the Rosa Parks of flock cameras. He's like Rosa, but he's got a few more tattoos. Other people making money in other interesting ways. The congressional trading. So, as you probably know, or maybe you don't know, they there is now it's a bipartisan group of people have gotten together called the Restore Trust in Congress Act. They did this in September, and the whole idea is to stop insider trading.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers is pushing a bill to ban members of Congress from trading stocks.
This body has been enriching itself on the taxpayers' dime for too dadgum long, and it's got to stop.
The Restore Trust in Congress Act received a hearing on Capitol Hill Wednesday.
When members are making decisions for how to vote on a bill, we should be thinking about what's best for the American people, not what is best for our investment accounts.
The bill would require members of Congress and close family members.
Okay, you get it. Nobody, and close family members and Congress, you can't trade anymore because these guys are trading and making a whole bunch of money. This is when Nancy Pelosi was on with Jake Tapper. This is a while ago.
Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
Yeah, but I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the stop the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong if they are. They are prosecuted.
And she's not the worst. There's other people that have made more money, but
and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that had been made over time. I'm not into it. My husband is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So when back in 1987, when she got her job, their net worth was $785,000. 37 years later, they're worth $133 million. Her return in the stock market is 17,000% in returns. She's pretty good at it.
Why you and your husband back in March of 2008 accepted and participated in a very large IPO deal from Visa. At a time there was major legislation affecting their credit card companies making its way through the through the House. And did you consider that to be a conflict of interest?
I don't know what your point is of your question. Is there some point that you want to make with that? The fact is, your basic premise is a false one, and it's no use our spending.
I don't understand. Why is it false? You participated in the IPO.
Well, I have many
and at the time you were
investments, but
Speaker of the House.
Yeah. Okay. And again, she's not who's the guy? Some Republican from Texas is on like $72 million or something.
You want to hear the heavy hitters?
Here you go. Here you go.
Among the most active traders in Congress, Texas Republican Michael McCall, whose trades from last year alone exceeded $72 million. California Democrat Ro Khanna has yielded more than $69 million. Democrat Josh Gottheimer of New Jersey, $44 million. Republican Jefferson Shreve of Indiana, $29 million. And former Democratic Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, whose trade volume is worth more than $26 million.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. They know, okay, we've got a bill. We know it's going to affect trading, or we know how it's going to affect the company, the corporations, either mergers, all the insider stuff. So they go ahead and buy stuff.
Or their husband buys stuff.
Their husband buys stuff, yeah. So Paul Pelosi buys it, yeah. I did an auction, and I sold Paul Pelosi I forget what the car was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Maserati, something like that.
Yeah, it's about $250, right?
A value was, I don't know what, it was $450, I think I sold it for.
Sheesh.
I'm thinking, and when I was selling it to him, I'm thinking, some of the money you made.
I'm paying for this, aren't I?
But the thing is are the taxpayers paying? They're getting insider. They're feathering their own nest with this sort of stuff. It's not directly hurting. But the weird part was, do you have the thing where what Mike Johnson said?
I do, yes.
Where's that one? Yeah. When Johnson was asked about this, don't you support it? Listen to this logic.
You're going to have less qualified people who are willing to make the...
Yeah, okay, if the person can't come to Washington, D.C. and do insider trading, right, then the effect is...
You're going to have less qualified people who are willing to make the extreme sacrifice to run for Congress. And it's just people just make a reasonable decision as a family on whether or not they can come and move to Washington, have a residence here, a residence at home, and do all the things that are required.
Yeah, yeah.
Extreme sacrifice.
Yeah, like, what, you don't want us to rob banks?
They work a month a year and get paid.
No. Listen, they make $187,000. You have to have some place to live there. Then you got to live back at the other place. You got to fly back and forth. Listen, they don't make much money. So what is he basically saying?
That's a pretty good
Not in
amount.
Washington, D.C. Now, $180,000. You're going to, let's say, take 30%, so 3 times off of that thing. So you end up with, what, 140 something?
But Ken Buck told me that they work, what, like 6 months out of the year?
Well, I mean, time spent there. But the voting is finished on a Thursday, let's say. Then you fly home and you come all the way back to Washington, D.C. now, or all the way back to the state of Washington. That's on a Friday. You probably have stuff to do on a Saturday or Sunday. You have pancake stuff and meet with donors and other stuff. Then you get back on the plane on Sunday night and fly back Monday morning. It's a lot of work. But for $180,000, it's a lot of work.
But it's not year round, is it?
Yeah, they're always. I mean, they get a month off in the summer, right? They get a little bit of time off for the different holidays. But if you take up all the amount of time, but they're not just off. They're at some pancake breakfast. They're putting their hand in the pocket of some rich guy.
You're right. They
fuddling
should be
around. They got some Tic Tacs in there and some money. And you run into a few other things. Yeah, so it's a lot of work for 180. But Mike Johnson's like, look, let them steal, let them get insider trading. Nobody's going to be worried about it. Or what they could do is file lawsuits asking for flock camera data to be given to you. Make it one way or the other. Everybody would be happy with that one.
Side hustles.
Yeah. But we won't get to the story. Unfortunately, we're running out of time regarding the Department of Education on the chopping block. Good.
Tomorrow.
Right. Well,
Monday.
Monday, because I've got to go meet Molly, my new
you love Molly.
Online scammer. Yeah. Please be careful wherever you're going. I care dearly about you, Michael.
How long are you going to let this ride?
I really want to work out. I really want to work out my plot. I just want to see what she says to my plot. Okay, here's my plot. I'm going to tell her, but not. I'm going to have her pull it out of me. That I have an uncle who I've known for years, who confessed to me that he's gay and he's having an affair with his doctor. That he and the doctor are going to conspire to say that he's got some disease and dies. And then, because I work at quote unquote Amazon. I know a lot of international trade, something or other, and he's asked the doctor and my now fake gay uncle have asked me to help them move resources and get stuff over to Indonesia or something like that. So that's the story I'm going to tell her.
What are you hoping the response will be? You want help with it? Is that what you want the person to do?
I don't know what. I haven't thought that far, but I'm just working out the plot. That I thought that's pretty good.
I hope she's not listening.
If she is, Nate, she's going to be wondering why I'm talking and you're on my phone because she asked for a photo.
I just hope she sends some Swiss bank account numbers or something just to help you out.
Yeah. No, she wants to move me over to WhatsApp.
She's going to quit before you
Texting
do.
message is indeed inconvenient. Do we have WhatsApp or Signal? We can video chat in the future.
Ooh.
I think that would be better at building our friendship.
Video chat.
Remember, it all started from a wrong number just a day ago.
Okay, if we can get her on WhatsApp and she's not sending us a link, we just do a WhatsApp video chat. I think we could let's see what happens.
Yeah, but now you're going to need Nate because he's the face of the operation now.
That is true. We kind of gave away our dang. We'll get an AI Nate.
If we give her WhatsApp, there's no way she can hurt us with that, right?
No, just she'll at some point, my prediction, she'll send a link which is gonna, infect your computer or your phone with malware. She's gonna drain your crypto wallets, but we're not gonna click any links from her.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll get on WhatsApp and we'll do it on Monday and we'll have Nate sit in on the video thing, and then because Nate can talk about anything.
Everything.
Yeah. Okay, good. There we go. Got a plan.
Nice.
Scamming the scammer up next. What happens will shock you. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
It is so busy out there, John. In Kirkland, northbound 405 at 85th, we still got this crash in the left lane. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 15 minutes, and it is pretty solid now, starting approaching 520 all the way into Alderwood, and you're really packed through Kirkland and Totem Lake now. Seattle to Everett, an hour 10, you're bumper to bumper from Lake City Way to the Linwood interchange. Linwood to Seattle, 50 minutes. We've got a pretty thick backup there in Linwood, and then again, it is solid from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. Bellevue to Renton, 40 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. In Puyallup, we still have this, and that what is a long-term crash, westbound 512. It's just before the Puyallup River Bridge, now taking up the left lane and the right shoulder. So you're just squeezing by there in the middle, and you're backed up on the southbound 167. That backup stretches back into Algona, Renton to Puyallup, 55 minutes. And then further north, southbound 167 at 84th and Kent, we've got a new collision blocking the right lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
A new push to abolish the education department.
Senator Patty Murray chats with local educators and parents. We'll have a preview.
Last weekend before Thanksgiving, Paul Holden has your weekend planner.
Another team to root for. The Seattle Torrent take the ice for the first time.
Hope you can join us tomorrow for all the day's news, traffic, and weather.
5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
We live for the jaw droppers.
Gets hit in the backfield and dropped. Guess who? Witherspoon.
The deep balls sent sky high.
Gonna throw right down the seam. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Big moments that throw you out of your seat.
And it's intercepted. Richard Sherman with a leaping interception.
Questioning the laws of physics and worthy of the celebration. Celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football. Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. Governor Bob Ferguson has now declared a state of emergency after a leak forced the shutdown of the Olympic pipeline. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
That leaky pipeline somewhere between Everett and Snohomish was shut down 9 days ago, tested, and restarted Sunday morning, then shut down again Monday after the leak continued. Now, as crews with BP dig it up to fix it, the main jet fuel supply to SeaTac is being brought in by trucks. Governor Ferguson's emergency order lifts truck driver hour limits so that fuel can continue to flow days and nights. The Port of Seattle says flights are unaffected so far. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're getting a late look at the September jobs report, which was delayed due to the government shutdown. The Labor Department says 119,000 jobs were created. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says that is better than expected.
119,000 jobs added. That was significantly more than expected. We were looking at 50,000. It's also a huge turnaround from August where we lost jobs. That is good.
Unemployment rate still ticked up to 4.4%. Seattle's 2026 budget is now set at $9 billion. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports the City Council's Budget Committee approved it today.
New taxes helped close a $102 million shortfall, but outgoing City Council President Sarah Nelson says there's another $140 million gap looming in 2027.
So a sizable budget challenge remains, and it could turn much worse if the economy deteriorates.
The 2026 budget includes record investments in affordable housing and rental assistance. Also boosts funding for firefighters and police. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Home prices across the U.S. posted their biggest jump in 7 months. Seattle-based Redfin says the median sale price rose more than 2% year over year, even as demand stays sluggish and homes take longer to sell. Different story here in Seattle. Prices dropped 2.2% compared to last year, and pending sales plunged nearly 18%. That is the second biggest decline among major metro areas. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk with Nate Connors.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has this update, and it is getting really busy out there. Northbound 405 in Kirkland, we now have what is turning into a long-term collision at Northeast 85th. It's in the HOV lane. Bellevue to Everett is an hour and 20 minutes now, and it's pretty solid starting back in mid-Bellevue all the way into Alderwood. You're really packed through Kirkland and Totem Lake. Seattle to Everett, hour 10, and it's solid from Lake City Way up to the Linwood interchange. Linwood to Seattle, 50 minutes. Got a pretty thick backup in Linwood, albeit it's just a couple miles long. And then again from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. Now that's a thick backup there. Bellevue to Renton, 40 minutes, bumper to bumper from 520 to the VMAC in Renton. Seattle to Federway, a 40-minute commute. It's packed at 405 down to 516. And we've got big issues in Puyallup, westbound 512, just before the Puyallup River Bridge. This crash blocks your left lane, and you're backed up onto southbound 167. Now the left lane is blocked on eastbound 512 at the seam. Westbound 410 now jams up way back of Valley Avenue over to the Valley Freeway, and then now a number of surface streets throughout Puyallup are filling up as well. And then further up on the Valley Freeway, southbound 167 at 84th and Kent, still have this collision in your right lane. All added up, Renton to Puyallup will take you right around 50 minutes. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mainly dry overnight, patchy fog early, mainly to the south. A few showers on Saturday, increasing rain on Sunday. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Montreal 973 5476.
Oh, yeah.
5476. Sorry about that. That's John Curley Show. Texting is good and good for you. Teeny is still working on trying to find the letter of the day. Got that. She has to press the button, which spins the giant wheel, which makes everybody aware that here it comes now. The Wilcox Chilling Farm Eggs recipe wheel spinning around with all the names of all the player on the wheel, and who knows where it's going to stop. And on Aaron.
Oh.
Not here.
Well,
taking the next part of the wheel on Nate.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
Are you serious?
Joe.
Oh, I'm here. I'm going to go with the trusty Wilcox.
Verified?
They are verified. They have a eat by date, which tells you that they know when these eggs were.
They're good eggs.
They're available at convenience stores, grocery stores. They come in 2 packs. They're the Wilcox Family Farms hard-boiled eggs.
Thank you very much. There it is, the answer right there. All right, the last little was it somebody that sent me this email though regarding
Yes.
So this is somebody named Clint from Oak Harbor had written this, and I think this is going to be applicable because we're heading into the holidays, and some advice to everybody. I spoke the other day, did a little monologue at the beginning of the show, or at some point I mentioned about Katie Wilson. Right. I said, I don't agree with her politically. I am diametrically opposed to her ideology, but after meeting her, I don't harbor any ill will to her as a person.
Yeah. You even said you kind of liked Nancy Pelosi when you met her. You said it was hard, but...
well, only because you're meeting... Wow, that's Nancy Pelosi. Wow, you get kind of... It's like some celebrity sort of thing. It bothers me that all the stuff she's been doing.
Right.
But she was fine, pleasant to me. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Clint writes, John, How do you get over the elephant in the room of seeing someone with completely opposite politics when you're around them? Yeah. I saw one of my great friends on Facebook. He posted photos from a No Kings rally holding a pretty hideous sign. It's going to be hard for me not to think about that the entire time I'm around them, especially in the holidays. Yeah. How do you do it? I heard you talk to your mother-in-law, and I was so charmed by how you handled it.
Yeah. First of all, try not to drink because alcohol puts you in the fight or flight. And alcohol tends to loosen your lips and and it makes you want to fight, right? You ever been out with people that just like to mix it up? I have friends who always want to get fights on the weekend. I'm like, why do we mix it up? Why do we have to mix it up? Like, with who? I'm going to turn to some total stranger and punch him at a bar? I'm not doing that. Trying to make money on this face of mine. Yeah. So alcohol tends to get people fighting. So if you can, try to avoid it. 10 milligram edible. There you go. To put your headspace into everything. Here's the advice. There will be people that are there that are going to be fishing for you, especially if they know your politics. It happens to me all the time. And if you really want to, quote unquote, win, if that's what it is, if it's about winning, then this really bugs them. So if you want to kind of check off a win, don't play. And by not playing the game, you are, in effect, winning. And what you can do to make yourself feel good, every time they kind of, put a little something out there, chum of the waters to try to get you to say something or bite on it, don't bite on it. And that'll be a win. And then you're like, okay, score one for me. And then they're going to come around, oh, Trump should be this, whatever you want to say, whatever. They're chumming the water again. They're going to come back around. Now what they're going to do, it's going to get a little bit more personal. They're going to start to attach you to whatever, then you must be a Nazi, whatever. Don't bite. Don't bite. Let them go. Right? It's like that great scene from Roadhouse. Be nice. Be nice. Walk them. If they won't walk them out. Right? It's the same thing. So if you want to get into a battle, you can battle by not actually battling. That will drive them nuts. If you really want to do, if that's like you, that's the easiest way to handle it, to at least feel like, okay, I have the upper hand. I'm not taking the bait. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get me to, and they're going to push every single button because what they want to do is they want you to then start to argue with them because that's what they want to do. And then, like my dad used to say to my son, to my brother, don't give him the reaction that he wants, and he'll stop teasing you, which was true. Yep. And Chuck would just sort of sit there, and I'm like poking at him, and he's not doing anything, and then I just stop poking at him, right? Same thing will happen at Thanksgiving or Christmas. The person will be come in, they'll be driving in, can't wait to talk to that Trump, MAGA dude, and especially the guy that's got the sign. So Cliff, as you write, he's going to come in looking to want you to engage. Just simply don't. And the best thing you could do is go, well, man, I never thought about it that way. That's interesting. That's it. You can leave them with that. Or change the subject and talk about something else. But you could just continue to ask questions without questioning back. Just go around it, because I'll tell you something. It is not worth it. Because the tension that you'll create for everybody else, all they'll remember is you guys fighting in the living room or yelling and screaming at one another. Realize that other guy's coming in to make you want to fight. And if you want to win, don't fight. That's the Roadhouse.
Can I add some of your own advice?
Yes.
From recently?
Yeah.
It's important to remember too, before you even get there, before you engage with anybody, that to separate ideas from from the person.
Very hard to do.
So they're not, people aren't their politics. Even though if that's all you see on social media, maybe that's all they post. Sometimes that's what motivates people to post, but that's not who that is. And if you were friends before whoever got elected, then there was probably a good reason for that. And the fact that somebody that you like or they don't like is in office shouldn't change the fact that they're a person that you love.
But Joe, some people can't. Some people all of a sudden swoop you up in that net.
Yeah.
And then they cannot believe you voted for this person. They cannot believe you believed in that. Then they feel as if somehow you have revealed something to them that they were not aware of before. And now the real you has come out. The true you has come out. And they feel as if you were dishonest with them. And now the real you has come out, and they're like, oh, now I see who I thought was my buddy.
This sounds very personal.
Yeah. Oh, it happens to me. It happens to me. I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, if that's, then maybe I got to check you off the list.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you can't change anybody else's opinion or perspective, but you can remind yourself that, hey, you don't have to paint somebody based on who they voted for.
Try to diffuse by not getting involved. And then if you'd like, just say, hey, you know what we do? Let's all sing.
Oh, yeah.
Stay.
Wham. I had to pick Wham, huh?
I don't know.
What about Mariah? Christmas.
Good. Could be worse.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't get through the song. Yeah, never mind. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Yes, sir. Kirkland northbound 405 and Northeast 85th. We have this long-term collision blocking the HOV lane. Bellevue to Everett still hovering at an hour 15, and it is solid from mid-Bellevue all the way to Alderwood, and it just barely moving through Kirkland and Totem Lake. Seattle to Everett still hovering at an hour 10. We're bumper to bumper from Lake City Way to the Linwood interchange. Linwood to Seattle, 50 minutes, but we've got a new disabled vehicle. It's South 5 at the off-ramp to 405, blocking your left lane. In Puyallup, westbound 512, just prior to the Puyallup River Bridge, a crash takes up your left lane, and you're backed up on the southbound 167. That 167 backup starts way back in Algona, and that's a bumper-to-bumper backup. And we also have the left lane blocked eastbound 512 at the scene. It's just a mess. Westbound 410 is packed from Valley Avenue over to the Valley Freeway, and a number of surface streets throughout Puyallup are filling up as well. We cleared our disabled vehicles southbound 167 at 84th and Kent, but now a new crash northbound 167 right at 405 blocking the center lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, you're probably thinking, Black Friday sales tomorrow, and you're going to get a whole bunch of gifts for a whole bunch of people. I know this is a little outside the box, but how about buying yourself comfort? That's right. Home Comfort Alliance is participating in the whole Black Friday thing. And you know what you're going to be able to do? Save big. Because you want it to be nice and warm in the winter and nice and cool in summertime. So that's your comfort. That's what you'd like. So rather than shopping for golf clubs or something else, give yourself the gift of comfort. Because now through December 1st, you get exclusive savings, 25 to 75% off when it comes to heating, backup generators, EV chargers, water heaters, electrical upgrades, and more. You can eliminate cold and warm areas in the home with a mini split. That's a great way to do it as well. And there's also big savings. And think about if your heating and cooling system is 12 years or older, pretty good chance the thing's going to die pretty soon. So why not save now by replacing it? Save up to 75% off with 18 months financing OAC. So for Black Friday, let's buy comfort. Big savings for you with Home Comfort Alliance at homecomfortalliance.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
This is TV's Dr. Travis Stork for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. with more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
At Bank of America, we asked our people, how do you take ownership of your career?
I'm able to grow my way by putting the priorities that I have for my career first.
I thrive on being a leader who's behind the team, not in front of the team.
Every few years, I'm being re-energized because I get to do something different and learn something new.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Picture this. You've owned rentals for years, but tenants, repairs, and taxes keep you stuck. John Curley here to tell you about Madrona Financial and CPA's free landlord retirement plan workshop. November 18th in Kirkland, November 19th in Tacoma, and November 20th back in Kirkland, all at 3 p.m. Learn strategies to sell without massive capital gains, avoid depreciation recapture, and transition to income without tenants. Seats are limited. Call 833-673-7373 now.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Verified. So here we go. You ready? Is Hudson going to sing? Who's singing on this
Hudson's
one?
on.
Bring in the letters. Hudson, what do you say?
I'm a mailman to be
Don't mess with him.
I'm a mailman. Everything new. I'm a mailman. Bring the mail to you.
Oh, so close. We'll get the letter today. First, take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Old Man John on the 1982 Cal victory, he said, "The play. I had a T-shirt that laid out the whole thing in X's and O's. At the end zone were musical notes representing the band, showing the tuba player being beaten down into the end zone as the winning touchdown was made."
Crazy. Thank you, Old Man John. Tara Mill Creek says, get Wyman on the phone. I need to hear the story.
Mike in Portland says, the clip of the dude getting pitted always makes me want to go buy a new surfboard.
Yeah, me too. Marshall says JFK assassination was on November 22nd, not on the 21st. That's true. Yeah, Joe.
Doug in Mount Vernon, I'm going to swap out his latest text because I think it's funnier. He says, last Christmas, I gave you my heart. This Christmas, with Medicaid cuts, I'm giving you my kidney.
Nice. 360 sounds like a classic pig butchering scam. Build your fake relationship, ask for money, and slowly bleed out the poor victim.
Yeah.
That's what's happening to me?
Yeah, your girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Breaks says, hey, John Curley, is Teeny dating Paul and Sammamish who submits text for letter of the day?
I can't speak to that. Our attorney has said, please, at this point, nothing, to say nothing.
Yeah.
Dennis in Seattle says, where the heck is Plato now? You're funny. People have to just stick with you. Okay.
Elliot in Seattle says, hey, can you guys make a Venn diagram of everyone's favorite Buc-ee's? I just love Venn diagrams. Don't you just love Venn diagrams?
You know what that's from? You don't know who we used to just love Venn diagrams?
No.
She was a political candidate and ran for office.
Okay.
And she's a DEI picked by Biden.
Oh, Kamala?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez, Joe. A rat doesn't fart in Auburn without Nancy knowing about it. She has a history of showing favors towards her friends using her power as a mayor, so says B in Puyallup.
Mike in Seattle says, how is the Auburn mayor still the mayor? This is sick. Classic pedo cover-ups, just like Bruce covering for Ed Murray. Maybe if she was a woman of color, this would have been bigger news.
Oh, wow. David, the mailbox guy, often naked, by the way, during the summer. My blood is boiling. Luckily, if he was nude, he wouldn't feel the heat as much. Damn it, you need to continue the story. This is the first time I've heard about it. Thank you, David, the mailbox guy.
On Rise coverage of the forthcoming Titans game, Kirk from Tacoma says, actually, that's not Kirk from Tacoma. But a woman whose name I forgot to put on here says, oh, my God, Rye is so smart and such a good speaker. I love it when he's on. He's going to be famous. Mark my words.
Thank you, lady whose name did not get included. And Dean from the East Side says, born and raised here, 57 years. Not quite sure why anyone lives here anymore. I encourage my 5 kids to choose a new state for their lives. And now it's time for me to go. Arizona, here I come.
Really bounced around on the left.
Joe, what's wrong with you today?
What's wrong with you? You skipped.
It's right there.
No, I know, but we skipped like half of the previous page, and I put them in order so you get the short ones. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
All right.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Not from Paul and Sammamish. It's from Charlie in West Seattle, who says, hey, John, great show. I've already had a conversation with all 3 kids, 13, 9, and 6, and they're committed to vaping 4 disposable vapes per week. I figure by the time my youngest turns 18, we'll have enough concentrated battery power to blow up the next 3 or 4 whales that beach themselves on Alki.
That is good. Charlie, I hope you're still listening there in West Seattle. Well done. That's good.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Get them started early if you really want to save a lot of energy. Thank goodness gracious. I think we should do another hour, but make it sound exactly like the first hour.
Or the second.
Or the second. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, John, Kirkland, northbound 405 at Northeast 85th. We have a long-term crash blocking the HOV lane. Bellevue to Everett, hour 20 minutes, and it is solid from about mid-Bellevue all the way into Alderwood, and you're really packed through Kirkland in through Totem Lake. Seattle to Everett, hour 5 minutes. You're bumper to bumper from Lake City Way to Linwood. Linwood to Seattle has spiked to a 1-hour drive. Pretty much cleared out in Linwood, but we're solid from Northgate all the way down to the West Seattle Bridge. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, we're up to a half hour on both of our bridge routes. Puyallup, good news, sort of. We cleared the crash westbound 512 just before the Puyallup River Bridge, so this opens up both directions of State Route 512 at the scene, but we are left with huge backups heading to and through Puyallup. Tacoma to Olympia, give yourself 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. I know what it's like. You begin to watch the hair thin, the crown disappears, and that hair loss starts to rob you of your identity. That is exactly how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair, they've got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you, because if you are losing your hair and you are not going to find it again, except maybe in the shower or the floor or the pillowcase, it's going away. It's not coming back. So the best thing to do, same thing I did. You want to be able to set up a free consultation. They're going to give you $250 off, 250 free hair graft. All you got to do is give them a call at 425-449-8185. They're in Advanced Hair. You got nothing to lose. Your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. So here we go with Advanced Hair. Once again, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. 425-449-8185. 425-449-8185. AdvancedHair.com. That's AdvancedHair.com.
There's 2 types of people.
The G and Ursula Show.
The ones that use a washcloth or a loofah sponge.
Okay. Weekdays 9 to noon.
The other are bare hand bandits. They just grab the soap. Growing up, my delegation, we always use washcloths.
Hate to break it to you, but I think my hand's going to be much better than this brush.
Yeah, what? I am uncomfortable.
Really?
Rubbing all over myself without there being a buffer.
Watch live on YouTube and the KIRO Newsradio App.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report.
Humpback whales and Biggs orcas were the story out on the water the past week. Among the humpbacks being seen is an individual known as Griffin, who was spotted a few days ago. Griffin rarely comes into our waters, so it was a special treat to see him. Speaking of special treats, we're getting close to the holidays, and the team at Puget Sound Express want to remind you that whale watching during the holidays is a special holiday tradition that brings families together and is a unique Pacific Northwest experience. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Warm boats, homemade blueberry buckle. Don't miss out on your chance to see orcas and humpbacks in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
It's official. Seattle will have a new mayor.
I just spoke with Mayor-elect Katie Wilson to congratulate her on a hard-fought victory.
Stay with KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com for the latest.
I believe in good government, and I believe that there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside City Hall.
From the trusted Northwest News voices you depend on.
Seattle has spoken, asking about real change.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is so delightful. Heat up the season and gift yourself year-round wellness from Olympic. A soak in a saltwater hot spring spa is pure bliss, the perfect escape at the end of the day. Or warm body and soul in a Tilo sauna, your ideal retreat. Heck, you deserve both. Our Heat Up the Season savings end November 23rd. Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawk blue.
From unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hit again. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Jordan drops back to pass in the end zone to Larkin. Touchdown, Seahawks!
History lives in every thread. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, The Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
Celebrate the Taj Mahal Quintet's 30th anniversary performing at Dimitros Jazz Alley, November 21st through 30th. Don't miss these living icons. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up,